Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Squares the Round Table podcast. Once again, episode number 25. And this is being our Halloween/Daylight Savings Time episode special. My favorite weekend of the year is coming up. I gain an hour of sleep next weekend. And that howlish, ghoulish laugh is courtesy of one Ivan Rivera. Hey, Ivan, how you doing?
I'm doing good there, Mike, and over here excited about Halloween. Going to give a sugar rush to all of the little kitties coming to the doorway. I pass out all those sugary sweet candies and sending them home on their merry way so they can drive their parents absolutely nuts. And, of course, speaking of nuts, what do you say, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Thanks, Ivan. Truly special of you. Hey, we missed you last week. Everything okay? Did you sleep well?
Yeah, everything's rolling right along, man. Everything's good. Okay. You know, so.
Okay.
I'll find on this.
I'm glad. By the way, I just so you guys are aware, if you're in the state of Wisconsin anytime soon, or West Virginia or South Carolina, you do not legally need to have a license to own a pet kangaroo.
Okay, that's useful.
Just wanted to let you know in case you were thinking, hey, I need a pet kangaroo.
Just in time from my Crocodile Dundee cosplay.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
So, a wallaby.
All right. So that's the obvious.
Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. What?
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for Squares the Round Table podcast this week. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, I think we just lost every listener off of that one.
So let's start with you, Jeff. How was your weekend?
Let's see. Since the last time we did the show, let's see, what did I do? I had a contest on Thursday night, took second for Toastmasters, so I took second in the evaluation contest at Division. I took third in table topics, but it doesn't mean I get to go on to district, which it's okay. That's all right. It's all good. It gives me time to get ready for a couple other things in terms of what I do in terms of presenting. And let's see, what else did I do over the weekend? Jeez. My DVR has been filled up lately because I've been busy at times during the week. So I got a chance to kind of catch up on that, and then hung out with a friend on Saturday night and rewatched Solo. And I still really enjoyed it. I certainly understand why some people are like, it's good, not great, but I still really enjoyed the movie. And
I agree.
It's too bad. It's too bad that they're not gonna end up making a sequel. But it seems that's not a direction they want to go. And then Sunday night I was out at Windy City, and it was kind of a small group, but got a lot done. And worked on a presentation that's happening in early December on enhancing evaluations, but for Toastmasters. If anybody who's listening is looking to compete in the International Speech Contest for Toastmasters, please shoot me a private message, and I certainly am happy to talk to you guys about coaching. So that's kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. I spent the weekend having my goodbye tour, gentlemen.
Goodbye tour?
Yes. I started Nutrisystem today. I kind of had my goodbye tour of things that I'm probably not going to get a chance to eat for a while. So I kind of did that over the weekend, where it was like, I'm going to get some wings, I'm going to get some tacos, I'm going to get a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, yeah, all right, they have that stuff, but it's not the same, and you know it. So.
Yeah, I really should maybe a little crash diet after Halloween. Between Halloween and Thanksgiving, get a little crash diet in because once between Thanksgiving and the end of the year, it's difficult to eat sensibly.
So here's the thing. Like, the thing I will tell you is, you just want to make some changes in your life changes. You don't really want to do a diet, because really, think about what the first three words of diet are, which are die. So essentially, you're trying not to die. That's not the objective of what you try to do. And I don't think you guys were aware of this. At one point, I had lost over 200 pounds. Actually, about 240 to be exact.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
A couple years ago, I lost about 200 pounds in about 49 weeks. So I have a real good understanding. I just got way off the wagon and had some other life issues and got an injury, and now it's just been kind of like I got to get back into it. I got to do what I got to do, and I'm like, but I like things like sleep, but I like things like food.
Well, I think it's fair to say that we all like food, some more than others. But I know I'm a gluttonous being. When it comes to food, I love food. I mean, if it doesn't eat me first, it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's just, and it's like I don't know. Maybe I do suffer a little bit from a food addiction, maybe, because it's like sometimes I'll drown my sorrows in food when I'm feeling kind of blue, or I'll do a case of lazy eating where I'll just eat just for the sake of eating.
Mm-hmm.
But as of late though, besides drinking a whole lot more water than before and straying away from carbonation and soda and stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't as notorious. I'm not as notorious now as I used to be when it comes to the soda, because I was a notorious popaholic many years ago.
Well, but Ivan, isn't most of that considering the fact that we used to work in broadcasting, we used to work all those wacky hours, you had to use soda. You almost had to use, like if you weren't drinking coffee, you better have Mountain Dew.
Well, yeah, or something that was, full of caffeine and sugar. Yeah, I mean, the nectar of the gods, we used to call it, and it was just, the 3 pound coffee and the, stuff that like stayed in the pot all day, and you drank it at the end of the day, as well as like maybe the first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your diet that you will be initiating.
Yes.
Well, as of this broadcast, I will have started. I've been on it for a few days, but I started it today as we recorded it. And there's a part of me where I'm like sitting there going, "Really? This is." It's like, okay, I'm gonna eat these vegetables. Where is the salad dressing? Oh look, I get a tablespoon.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, though, that since I've been with Julie, I've had more of my share of salad wedges, which that's my newest fascination when it comes to salad. And just take, a hunk of from a head of lettuce, and then just adorn it with whatever it needs, plus other vegetables, which I find it very satisfying,
Especially when there's meat.
But I mean, especially, that's what usually follows, but at least I'm not eating as much, regular food, because I have the salad kind of offsetting what fills my stomach now, which is not a bad thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you just because this is, you'll enjoy this. So, I was in North Carolina, and I was kind of, for people who aren't aware, I was in North Carolina for about 3 months, and I was at a weight facility there, and we would do this structured eating out, and you had to show the nutritionist what you were going to eat before you left. And it was funny. So we're at Outback, and I'm doing like all the little calculations, and I'm looking at the salad, and I'm sitting there and looking at it going, well, when I put the dressing on it, it gets up to like 300 or 400 calories. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't need to eat salad. All I really need is more steak. I apparently can have much more steak than here. So I said, all right, fine. Forget on the vegetables. We're just going to have steak and potatoes because I have salad.
So this is your augment.
Wait. This is where you're gonna laugh. She's like, this is not a complete plate, and I'm like, it's complete for me. And she's like, where is? You have to have a green. I'm like, but if I eat salad, then I have this dressing. I might as well have just had more steak. Because it seems as though, really in reality, this isn't going to be nearly as filling as if I basically had an 8-ounce steak. She's like, no, you have to have salad. I said, so let me see if I understand this correctly. I have to have a 5-ounce steak because you insist I have to have vegetables. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that the vegetables are so gooped up because I'm allowed, because I have that much calories left that I can get freaking blue cheese dressing and freaking croutons and crap like that you think that this is worthwhile.
And you couldn't opt out the dressing?
No, I'm fat, man. Why would I opt out the dressing?
That would deprive you of steak.
Yeah, that doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Her comment was even better than yours, Mike, which was, do you want to go on this trip or not? I'm like, yes, I do. All right, fine. I'm like, and of course, I had this conversation in front of, like, a group of people who were going on the trip, and they're all trying not to laugh. Really, really hard. not to laugh. And it's funny when she's done and she leaves, they're all like, how you're killing us. We couldn't stop. It's like as soon as they left, everybody's laughing and looking at me going, really? You had to do that? And I'm like, well, it's true.
Well, yeah. When you think of it in that light, yeah, I can see the sense in it, really.
Well, I just laughed because here's the irony. I did end up. The nutritionist didn't go on the trip. I came really, really close to just doing whatever I wanted, but I was afraid somebody was going to tattle on me, so I was like, nope. But Ivan, we haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. Eddie, what's going on with the wonderful world of Ivan Rivera?
Okay, well, all right. Let me go ahead and give you a story of frustrations.
But a man named that?
Well, actually, it comes down to this. All right, now, all right, I was to go and have a procedure done, but in the way the insurance companies and the hospitals and the specialists, they all got this thing racked up. It's such a business thing now, and you go ahead, you have to jump all these hurdles just to get a date to get what you need to get done, right?
Uh-huh.
So I get to my appointment, okay? I mean, I get in there and I get the usual examination, blood pressure and thermometer and check all my vitals and everything. And yeah, not doing too bad at all, really, okay? And the specialist comes in and says, okay, well, we're gonna take you into the next room and we're gonna prep you for surgery. And I'm like, okay, sure, so I get in, I change into the gowns, the ones that are open up and back, and mind you, the rooms are like ice cold. Everything is ice cold in the room, and you're wearing this open back gown and everything, and you're just like, oh my God, this is so cold in here. Okay, so laid out, TV doesn't work at first. I call the nurse. She comes in and turns on my TV set. Then why is it that they have more nurses than you'll ever see in a half an hour just to go ahead and give you an IV? You get the one nurse comes in and okay, she puts the port into your hand. Okay, then you're followed by another nurse who comes in and attaches the IV. Okay. Followed by another nurse who goes ahead and does your blood pressure. Followed by another nurse who comes in and does more stuff. And then another nurse saying, well, since you've got your port in, can we go ahead and take some blood from you? Sure. Take as much as you need. No problem. Okay. And then, of course, the nice nurse comes in. Well, you need to have your nice cap. So I got this netted cap on my head now. I look like I'm ready to go to a soup line and serve up soup.
I was going to say, do you have the ice cream scoop?
You know, huh?
The ice cream scoop for the potatoes?
Yeah. So anyway, so they go through all of this. And so, why is it that when the specialist walks in, they walk in with, 8 or 9 people which you've never seen before in your life? Okay? Hi, I'm the specialist, and these are students from the University of Chicago. And you're like, okay then. And I'm feeling like a hamster in a cage now because it's like, okay, now I've become a subject. Okay? And, of course, now all of my very personal information is now common information now to 9 other people who aren't going to even be a part of this thing that I'm going through. So I'm like, okay. Finally, we get myself ready, and we're going into the operating room, okay? So I get into the operating room, and they're prepping me up and everything, the anesthesiologist and the specialist and the nurses and the nurses' assistants and the assistants to the nurses, all these people. And then the specialist walks up to me and goes, Ivan, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to ask you. Now, I could do this procedure now, but if I can't do this procedure, I might have to have you go to another specialist and have the procedure done. I just need to do one thing. And I'm asking you if it's okay. And I go, what's that? He goes, we're going to take an x-ray. I'm like, okay. So I get contorted into this front of this x-ray camera.
Yeah.
And they take pictures. Okay. And then they take
with that, Ivan, what is with that? When they take you in for x-rays, they're like, now move your hand here and your leg here. It's like, what are we playing, Twister?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
do I look like I do yoga?
I'm like, I didn't sign up for this.
No.
Were one of the students from University of Chicago, was one of them holding the spinner? And calling the shots?
Yeah, not only nurses call the shots. But so then after they take this x-ray, everybody looks in disillusion. And I'm looking at the expression on their faces. I'm thinking, I don't like this look. And then the specialist goes, well, at least we won't have to put you under, Ivan, but I'm afraid that your condition is going to need more than I can actually do. In fact, I'm going to send you to this specialist, and, we won't do the procedure today because there's a lot more you need to have done that I can actually do. Because if I can't get the camera to go where it needs to go and be able to examine you from the inside out, then I fear that it's really going to defeat the purpose. So why are you going to have 2 surgeries? And I says, yeah, well, okay, fine, then I guess we'll just scrub today. Sorry, folks, And, so then everybody's like, got the face of, oh, man, and they're taking off their lab coats and they're taking off all their gloves and everything. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, guys. They're like, no, Ivan, you don't have to feel sorry about it, And they wheel me back out, Poor Julie, she's pins and needles the whole time. And I was only gone for most about 10 minutes. And so after they wheeled me back into the room, they didn't tell her for a little bit that I came back into the room. And then I asked the nurse, well, is Julie out there? Oh, yeah, I'll go get her for you. And she goes, boy, that was fast. And I go, no. So, okay, conclusion of this story is after all of that, okay, I get sent home, okay, after they starved me for 24 hours, So here I'm already, eyes rolling up in the head, ravenous human being, starving to death. All the pills I was supposed to take, I couldn't take them. So, I'm moving around like this, like a mummy, So I go ahead and I call up the University of Chicago. They set me up with the lady who was referred to by the other specialist. Come to find out that she is on maternity leave and will not be back till December 28th. And then we go ahead, we set up everything for December 28th. Guess what? They check my insurance. I'm not in the network, so I can't go to that specialist anyway. So that thing got scrubbed. So now I got to go ahead and jump some more hurdles just so that way I could get this next date. So keep tuned in to find out if Ivan, sometime in 2018, will get what he needs to get done.
2019 at this point.
Yeah, 2019 at this point.
This does not happen in Grey's Anatomy.
No, it does not.
You need to get from the good doctor. You need Dr. Sean, who's like, it's a tumor, and he can do it in his brain, and they have all the little dots and things. You need that. You need that guy.
Yeah, I need that guy. I don't need somebody
autistic savant.
that or at least not somebody like Mr. House,
Mm-hmm.
Remember that show?
Yeah. House would be good, although you'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, I would. So anyway, for those of you out there who are considering not giving up your sodas, just this whole story should be a lesson to you in lessening up your soda intake, so that way you don't end up getting into the literal stitches that I ended up in where I am now. So yeah, lots of water, folks, lots of water. Anyway.
About just water, just drink more water in tangent. You can drink what you like, but just drink water in an equal amount to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, stay hydrated with the water. Like if you're out drinking beer, drink a water in between it, so it also saves you from having a hangover. If you're gonna drink soda, well, try to offset 2 glasses with 1 soda. Just make sure that you got more water in your system than high fructose and caffeine and caramel coloring and preservatives and God knows whatever else they put in soda nowadays.
See, Mike, Ivan would have been perfect for last week's show, in which included tips on what to do when you get drunk or hungover.
Drinking to excess.
Yes, drinking to excess.
Drinking to excess. Oh, I had alcohol poisoning once.
Oh God. What?
You want to hear that story?
I don't know. Do we really want to hear this one?
We'll save this for another episode, I think.
Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, it's actually a very funny story. Looking back on it, it's pretty. Well, I think it's pretty funny. Anyway, so.
You said you pick up some more books, Ivan?
Yes, I did. I picked up the trade paperbacks Omaha. I got issues 1 and 3, so now I got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing number 2. I got that one on order, so I have the entire story from start to finish. And then I picked up the newest Unnatural from Mirka, who of course now also has a trade paperback available of issues 1 through 4, which is the first story arc, and now she's starting the second story arc November 5th. So for those of you who's interested in the comic book Unnatural and its story, its engaging pictures and everything, yes, November 5th, the next issue will be out. Number 5 starts the new story arc. It's gonna be a 12-book series.
Okay. Is that animal-pomorphic, or however I'm supposed to pronounce that, or is that something else?
Oh yeah, it's anthropomorphic, and I find that it's not as detailed as Omaha is. In fact, it's actually less it's actually less beefy and more story than the other way around. So it's but it's really pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say based on the fact that when Omaha existed versus what the trends are now, yeah, it'll be more art than story now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it comes right down to the fact that because back in the '80s when Omaha was made, it was funny for the animal people characters doing the things that real people do, and it was by many it was considered pornographic, which that's what they want to call it, but it was high art. But now the difference between Omaha and Unnatural is that Unnatural, besides the very artisan and tastefully done pictures, there's not as much nudity in Unnatural as there is in Omaha, so it's got a lot more story to go to, and the story is a lot more dense. It has a lot more into it, so that so given that, yeah, if for those of you who are interested in that. And then I did see the Archie number 3, the crossover and such. I kind of went through it and everything.
Batman 66, is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I think Mike, you pick that up too, right, or no?
Yeah, I did read that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad. Looking to see how it ends.
Okay, so you're gonna follow it through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Mike was saying, which cover did you get, Ivan? Did you get the regular cover, or did you get the Art Balthazar cover, which is kind of like a little bit more toony looking?
I saw the regular cover, the toony looking cover.
Okay.
I forget. Well, I think mine was just the regular.
Right.
There's the page that shows all the variant covers, and I recognized the art. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, my for people who know, well, I'll put it up on the page too, so people can see it for the square.
The difference between the covers.
Well, no, not the difference, but the guy who did that cover is somebody I know by the name of Art Balthazar. He's a world famous cartoonist. He did the Tiny Titans, and he's one of the founders of Aya Comics. And while they were out at New York, he just decided to draw me, which is how I have my new profile picture.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Awesome art. And I'm like blown away because I didn't ask him for it. He just kind of did it, and it's really pretty cool.
It's awesome, man. I like it.
No, absolutely. It's something that's funny because I was thinking about for my presenting business when I finally getting around to things like logos and stuff. I was really considering doing like a cartoon or a comic book type shot like that. Like a cartoon like Glamour Shot or something like that. I mean, I laugh because the only thing I would have wanted more is to put was for there to be shades on. But other than that, it's great. But yeah,
it would make a great business card.
Yeah, I have to get the real one. I only got the one on picture because they were doing it in New York when I wasn't there, and I got that. I got it sent to me by picture, and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. But yeah, so Art, and I don't know if it's Art and Franco or it was just Art who did the variant cover for Archie and the Archie Batman 66. I know that they were one of them or both of them was working on that. So, but yeah, no. So you guys are both sticking with that one. You guys have liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean,
it's cool.
I like what I've read so far. So,
okay.
So yeah, I am kind of anxious to see how she ends.
The story didn't progress very much in issue 3, but we're gonna see how it.
I think they're going for the what's
finale.
Not the finale.
Going for the thing that ends, that makes it end.
Yeah,
No, not that either. I'm looking for the the tension. I guess they're kind of stretching it out a little bit.
So I'm not. The thing is, I don't know if it's a 4 or a 5 or a 6 issue series, but I presume it'd be less than 6.
I don't know. I can. Should we check?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Well, here, let's make a bet on that. I mean, I'd say 6. What do you think, Mike?
Let's see.
Only if Dark Sid makes an appearance.
Okay.
Dark Sid. That's good. Very, very well done. Yes, I don't know that Dark Sid will. It's 6 issues.
Okay, is all right. There's 3 more to go then. I'm in for all 6.
Okay.
Very cool.
So we're halfway through it. Okay, cool.
So Mike,
yeah.
You probably had a more interesting weekend than both of us. Tell us about Robots in Disguise, an entire weekend of that drinking and was there debauchery? Maybe there was.
Was there lots of pizza?
There were. Ivan, your absence caused so much Chicago-style deep dish pizza to be wasted, thrown away, because you didn't make it.
Oh.
Wait, there was deep dish pizza?
There was Chicago-style deep dish pizza.
Was it free?
It was Giordano's.
Oh, my heart.
Well, that's stuffed. That's not really deep dish, but yeah, I get it.
It was stuffed. And there was a sausage and a meat lover's pizza.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yep. So, yes, I attended TFCon Chicago, which is not actually Chicago. It was the Crown Plaza in O'Hare across from the Donald A. Stevens, where we had the largest fan-run Transformers convention of the year it was a Club Run. I had a great time. This is my Christmas. I get pants for Christmas. So this is my Christmas. Just hanging out with all my friends. And yes, there were what was the phrase we used? Children with adult privileges this whole weekend. With our action figures and our alcohol. We had much fun. I had a great time with my friends. Oh, and Friday for lunch, I went to the Murray's Caddyshack restaurant.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
That was fine. It was all right. It was a little expensive, but it was good. It was like a sports bar kind of theme, with they had like the Caddyshack like phrases from the movie hanging up on the wall. Like we were sitting next to one where with the phrase on the wall said, "Au revoir, go fair." And the menu, the cocktail menu, the name of each cocktail was a Bill Murray movie. Like one drink was called Lost in Translation, one was called Scrooged, or something. Name you pick. But it was fine. It was good. And like some memorabilia and cases behind glass on walls. It was fine, but it was good. I was recommended, of course, after I ate, I was recommended, you got to try the fried potato golf balls. And I was like, okay.
Fried potato golf balls?
Fried potato golf balls. It's one of the appetizers. It's top, like on the menu. So.
Well, they're just Puerto Rican. They're just Puerto Rican rellenos without the meat in the middle of them. I mean, they're all potatoes, right?
I don't know. I didn't try them. I posted the picture of the menu, and I'm just quoting my friend who was with me, and he hadn't seen Caddyshack. I'm like, what? Who hasn't seen Caddyshack?
What?
So I'm quoting lines.
That's a rite of passage.
How old is this person that they have not seen Caddyshack?
Mid-30s.
Oh.
So he was like
possible, but wow.
He was like born like when Caddyshack I was out.
Right. Yeah,
I probably told you about this when we first mentioned this restaurant. I probably told this, but when I was like, it was 81, my family and I went to my Uncle George's to see Caddyshack on his Betamax machine.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, and of course, we had just got cable. It was like right when Caddyshack was in heavy rotation on whether it was, I don't know, HBO or Showtime or whatever. So I watched Caddyshack a lot as a little kid.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it was good. And then, like I said, friends came from out of state, and it was great to see some of these people I don't see except for these shows. And it was fun time as always. There was some room trading and stuff. I was going to help another dealer, another friend of mine. I'd known him for many years, and I helped him with his table down on the sales floor. But then when the dealer room was closed, we had room sales. We have a bulletin board where people could post their room sales and trading. Some people just post their phone numbers. Text me at this number if you're interested in so-and-so, this figure and that figure. My friend Ray had recently come back from Romania, and he brought some Romanian moonshine.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say he brought Romanian Transformers.
No.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
I know.
Like he brought that down. So had a couple of shots of that. And I'm not usually for hard liquor, but that was good.
Oh, he had Romanian moonshine. What's the difference between that and normal moonshine?
I don't know. My knowledge of hard liquors is not very vast.
If it was
vodka comes from a potato, so maybe they got something. Maybe they use beets or something.
But yeah, I was feeling not so good Saturday morning for a little while, but it wasn't like. Then Sunday morning I was a little better. I paced myself a little better on Saturday night, but Friday night I was pushing the Warp 10 barrier.
Okay.
But it was great to get to see some voice actors I'd never met before. Got a couple of more Beast Wars autographs. I have a part of a cardboard display that I have all the Beast Wars voice actors I've met. I had them sign it. But also a couple of older voice actors who have never been to a show before. One being Stephen Keener, who was the voice of Fortress Maximus and Scorponok and Hunger and Mindwipe, several characters from the old show from the 80s. And he hadn't done any voice work since the mid-90s. And he just went on with his life. It was just a gig he had for a while, and he just went on. And he was a nice old grandpa kind of looking guy. And it wasn't until years later where the organizers of the show came up to him and says, "We want you to come to the show because you voiced Fortress Maximus, a very cool toy, and it's for some people, and of course in the comics he had some prominence." So the Stephen Keener, the voice actor, he's brought to tears at the voice actor panel for just discovering that so many people were attached to this character, and although he had only a couple of lines in the cartoon, it didn't matter to them that these people have shown so much of love and affection for this gentleman. And he's a really sweet guy. I got to talk to him for a little while. So that was fantastic. And some meeting the fans, too. So much awesome cosplay at these. Because especially with a lot of these Transformers costumes, they have to be a bit more elaborate than just... not to say that other, like, especially anime, some of those costumes are crazy complicated. But with these, they have to be a little more engineering is involved. It was really quite amazing.
Did you, just to interject real quick, did you happen to see the video that made the rounds on Facebook of the three kids who were dressed up as Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and everything, and their costumes actually changed into the actual trucks and cars?
Yeah.
That's a viral video from last year, and I keep getting tagged in it. Of kids in Halloween costumes, and they lie down on the ground, and their costumes transform.
But I thought it was cool, man.
That was cool, yeah, but it's like, I've seen it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that if, people out there, who haven't seen it, search it out. It's pretty cool talking about the whole premise of the cosplay and how, form and function,
Yeah. They weren't at TFCon, though. There were a couple of kids with cute costumes, too. One guy had his own yellow Volkswagen Beetle. He was private owner, and they asked him to bring it, I guess, and he brought it, and he had the driver's side window down and a sign saying, "If you want to take photographs, please We asked for a voluntary donation to help preserve beehives around the country. So
nice.
So that was a nice thing. And of course, with the upcoming Bumblebee movie, but Bumblebee being a beloved character, helped in much part, thanks to the Bay movies as well, becoming a character of prominence in pop culture.
Yeah.
What else from the convention? The third party, because like I said, this is an unofficial convention run by fans, and the third party product was quite abundant. They had a third-party panel, but it was shortened because two companies didn't bring their slides. And so it was, from what I'm told, it was a waste. That's too bad. But it was still good, the rest of the show. And sure there's toys involved, but just meeting these people that I don't get to see for months and months, or just people I just met on Facebook and follow them on social media. So it was great. I had a good time, and I missed you, Ivan. We missed you dearly. We had a lot of the TFCon peeps had asked about you.
Well, I won't miss them in 2019 when we take over the Cow Palace, which I'm sure that Fred's kind of bouncing that whole idea right now between the Cow Palace and then moving things back to the original hotel again. You know, so, I mean, wherever they have it, I don't care, really, you know, whatever they do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they do.
Next year, we'll still be at the same location. I'm telling you, and I wear the TFCon T-shirts all weekend. I've had people say, okay, so what's with the cow?
Right.
And I had some flyers handy, and I said, it's a TFCon, it's a Wisconsin Transformers convention, it's in Fond du Lac, it's about an hour north of Milwaukee. Hand them a flyer, and on my way, raising awareness about TFCon.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Had a great show.
So,
Loved it.
like, is it kind of like this? Is it like you get like a text and be like some guy going, "Hey man, I got a 1982 Starscream still in the box. Come up to like
some of that. Some people, but we have a bulletin board that helps prevent that. I mean, if you're looking for something, everyone knows to post a piece of paper on the bulletin board, and it'll take you to a room number or a phone number. If some people were not gonna stay at the hotel, some people don't, and I understand. Even with the convention rate, it was like $175 a night after taxes.
Wow,
that was the convention. That was the con rate.
That's
that's a bit steep.
At the Crown Plaza, which is, there's a lot of hotels around O'Hare. I mean, that's kind of steep.
Exactly.
I mean, when I went to the Toastmasters convention at a brand new hotel, which was the JW Marriott, the convention rate was $199, but it's next to McCormick Place and it's brand new. I mean, Crown's been there forever, and that seems, I mean, it's nice, but that seems very expensive.
It's a little high,
yeah, I went down to get a lay of the land. There's another thing, is parking. Went down to get a lay of the land on Thursday night, meet some friends, and then drive back home Thursday night late, and then leave Friday morning with all my stuff. With a friend of mine who was tagging along. Thursday night, went down there. 5 hours worth of parking was $25.
Oh, it's amazing to get away with that stuff. I mean, the place that used to do back in the day when they had the old Chicago Comic Con, which eventually became where they did Wizard. There's a reason they moved away from that place, which was, I think, it was the old O'Hare Ramada. I don't know if it's still there or not, but at one point they decided, we're going to charge for parking. I'm like, what a bunch of jerks. I mean, it'd be different if it was downtown and there was no place else to find parking, but it's kind of like, seriously?
So, okay, so that was before I checked in.
Mm-hmm.
And now the hotel, when I checked into my room, I still had to pay $10 for the weekend. So the hotel would not comp my parking for the weekend.
$10 is horrible.
That's bullshit.
$10 isn't horrible.
No, it's not bad. That's not even a meal.
There are places that are, I mean, there are places that are a lot worse than that, but But yeah, I mean that's
Still, but you would think that for what the money that they're getting for the convention and all the people that are coming in for the convention, they could have done a little better, per night.
So here's my question, Mike. Like what you say, like these guys who are like the celebrity types, do they kind of like in the evening hours, do they kind of like disappear, or do they kind of like hang out and drink, or talk, or is it just kind of like they go off and do their own thing? How does that work?
Well, sometimes the celebrities will be escorted out, and they'll have a handler for the weekend because out of the way their system is set up, you have to pay for autographs and photographs,
right?
And if their earnings don't match their guaranteed fee, then the convention will comp them the rest. But sometimes they'll just go down to the hotel bar and just hang out. And you can just chill with them, but just don't be a jerk and say, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" And it's like, "No, I kind of would like you to pay the $25 at the room or whatever, or in the convention during hours." But yeah, sometimes the celebrities will hang out on off hours over the weekend.
Right.
No, was there anybody who because you said there are people drinking? Was there anybody who got drunk in one of those crazy costumes that it was kind of funny or no?
I'm a robot. No, yeah. I didn't see anything of that. I saw a lot of drinking, and in fact, there was one. We had some guys in the room party Friday who had picked up a figure that's known for being fragile, and he had a few drinks, and we could tell. He picked it up to look at it, and he was very interested. And guess what?
He destroyed it.
Well,
and it snapped in two.
Well, he's very.
But the guy was chill. It didn't happen to my stuff. It was one of my friend. We were sharing the room, but the dude was cool about it. He paid for it, and it is a fixable situation. You can fix it.
Oh, okay.
There are ways the toys can be fixed because it was just an early, just the way they're designed. They're fragile.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. Yeah, there was much libation, and probably some other, how do you say, smokable or edible?
Edible, smokable merriment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of smokable, edible merriment, that if you were to have that, this would have taken you to a whole nother plane. Over at the Logan Arcade, okay, they launched exhibit on Friday, on the 26th, and it's currently running there now. And I think it's going to be there for a couple of weeks. And what it was, the incredibly ingenious mind of James Zesby and his top-notch crew over at Logan Arcade took a 30-year-old animatronic band that used to be featured at something similar to Chuck E. Cheese, okay, but it was a whole nother different franchise, and there was a group there at this franchise. They were known as the Beagles, which of course it kind of gives it away. Yeah, they did the Beatles stuff, whatever. Okay, so 30 years ago that was a thing. At Showbiz Pizza, there's the place. So Zesby, got a hold of these animatronics, decided to go ahead, take it, reprogram it, reconfigure it.
To play metal?
To play metal, that's right, to play Danzig.
No,
and they have been resurrected as the Biscuits. And it is amazing. So, if you have an opportunity to see it, I mean, I've seen filmed versions from different people on Facebook, and it never ceases to amaze me how well it's done.
It's like in the 80s, like someone would put a Metallica tape in a Teddy Ruxpin.
Kind of like that, yeah, but more intense, and I mean, there's more lights and there's more visual effects and all kinds of stuff going on. It actually sits on a riser, on a stage, and it's all decked out in Halloween garb. It's really very cool. And so if you happen to be at Logan Arcade, 2410 West Fullerton in Chicago, just go ahead and check it out. I mean, it's 21 with an ID, but once you get in there, it's free to enter. And believe me, you will not be disappointed at just how well done and well engineered this animatronic band is. It was mind blowing. I was like, wow. I mean, I remember when we moved out from, when Logan Hardware Records moved out, and then just brought all the stuff to the space, and then I saw what they were before they became this, and I'm just like looking at all this stuff. I'm like tilting my head, and I'm like, okay, what in the name of Optimus Prime is this gonna be? So. Yeah, getting to see it in action really was amazing. The transformation, I mean, they made costumes up for them, and in fact, if you go anywhere on Facebook, I guess if you go on the Logan Arcade site, you'll actually see a video clip of it there. And,
okay. We'll post that to the Squares Facebook page.
All right, terrific. And so real excited about that. Yeah, I'm going to be, and then another thing I'm going to be involved in, that'll be tomorrow, but, by the time this show gets on the air, it's already going to happen.
Yeah, it's already happened, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to have happened already, but yeah, other thing I'm going to be involved in is Electric Jungle, 1768, West Greenleaf, and Roger.
For those of you able to go back in time and...
Let me know how you do that.
Yeah, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know how that goes. Anyway, no, but this is where it all takes place. So, and yeah, we're hosting a big Northern Soul all-nighter there, and so I'm gonna be there probably till early tomorrow morning, all the way till probably early Wednesday morning, because we're gonna be catering to a bunch of British disc jockeys who that's their forte. They're gonna be dropping, playing, spinning 45s that they've spent a great amount of money for these things, But these are the things that have become quite the thing now. And Jethro Jones wrote a book called They Danced All Night, which is you can get the book from Amazon, and it's all about his first-hand accounts from his journal of the life of the all-nighters, the Wigan casinos, and the dance clubs of the 1970s, him being a dancer himself in those times and places, and how the whole Northern Soul thing came together. It's really an engaging story, and it's amazing. Jethro himself's a wonderful man, friend of mine, good guy, and so between him and John Seba and everybody involved at Electric Jungle, put this thing together, and it's going to be real interesting. I mean, for the next Squares of the Round Table, I'll have some information about that event, and also too every Monday, my friend Bo Deadly is doing movies, doing monster movies and stuff, and so that's what he's been doing the whole month of October. I don't know if he's gonna keep doing it in November. I'll get some information on that for sure. But yeah, Bo Deadly, my friend Bo, he's into the macabre. He's into the weird and wacky, into the scary.
Yeah, so Halloween is Wednesday, and I don't have any plans. I'm just gonna hand out the treats to the children. I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna stop. Maybe if I can find a decent looking pumpkin, I'll carve it tomorrow night. I gotta cook me some seeds, man. I love my seeds. But I want to try to get the Halloween thing going on. Wednesday is the day of the spookiness. You get a lot of kids in your building, Ivan?
No, not really. Not really. It's kind of a shame. I mean, last year, Julie and I, we were ready with candy and stuff. We hardly saw anybody, but I don't know. Who knows? Probably more at the arcade, maybe. But we'll see what happens. But speaking of Halloween and what it means, okay, I'm going to ask you guys this. I don't know if you guys do it. Have you guys ever involved yourself in the tradition of Beggar's Day?
Beggar's Day.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of Beggar's Day?
So the answer is no.
Okay, Beggar's Day is basically the day before Halloween, where you decide to go ahead and stock up on all that candy ahead of time. Usually relegated for weekends and stuff before the holiday actually begins. Like how Halloween is in Wednesday, so most of the kids are already out and about on like Saturday, for Beggar's Day. So, because we used to do that a lot growing up. When I was growing up, there was a lot of kids involved in Beggar's Day, and coming home with bag loads of candy and stuff. Back then when everybody knew everybody else in their neighborhoods and everything. So, yeah. So, but no, I don't.
Yeah, I think we just did it. We just did that on Halloween. We didn't do it
on Halloween. No Beggar's Day.
We didn't do it before that. I don't know. What about you, Mike?
Well, the closest thing, I guess, to that would be just like my sister lives in a subdivision, and they have a lot of kids in that neighborhood, so they would always have their Halloween the Sunday before Halloween from like 2 to 5 instead of like 4 to 7.
Right.
So that way it's not dark out.
Right.
Stuff like that where it's like, okay.
It's like, and the one time it was about 10 years ago, I went walking with my young nieces that they were young at the time. They wanted to go trick-or-treating. And it was like the movie E.T. I mean, the streets are lined, crowds of kids running around. And my brother-in-law, he had to go to the store. He ran out of candy.
Wow.
Because they had so many kids in that back then. But not anymore. Now all the kids are grown up and gone. So, but we have it'll be, in our neighborhood, it'll be obviously Halloween Day. So.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Deerfield, and we used to have on our property back then. We used to have a doorway that led into a neighborhood called Poetry Corner, and it was this beautiful neighborhood of houses and streets and stuff. And Laura would hand make costumes for Soraya. And Soraya and I would go out there, and we'd go to all the houses, and it was really nice because there were people, dressed up in costume. We had one house where there was these 3 ladies, and they were all dressed as witches. They had a cauldron that lit up, and you reached into the cauldron, you could get a candy, or you get a hand come chase after you or something. People with their lights, and people, and the adults were all in on it too, which was really amazing because, they'd have the candy for the kids, they would have like water for the adults and stuff, and yeah, I remember, going with her to all of these different houses. I mean, we came home with bags of candy that lasted us, for months on end. But it was a good time. I mean, and then me growing up in Chicago, I mean, back in the day of those type of costumes with the big plastic mask and everything with the rubber band that went in back.
Oh yeah, those crappy costumes from the 70s and 80s. Yeah, where it was just like the picture of what you wanted, and then it was the cheap plastic mask with the 3 tiny holes.
Yeah.
One for the mouth, and then 2 tiny holes so you could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody made you mad, you took the thing and you pulled it, and then you smacked it back in their face.
Yeah.
That one? Are you talking about that one?
I remember one time it was like a Saturday night, and like Halloween was like on a Sunday or a Monday the following, and I'm carving the pumpkin, and just as I'm carving the pumpkin, someone knocks on the door, and it's a bunch of teenagers, and they're on a scavenger hunt for their Halloween party, and they need a bag of pumpkin guts. I'm like, aha, here you go, and I just delivered it to them post haste. So I was like, oh, you were in good luck. I was just carving my pumpkin right now. So
I'll admit that there was a year, I think I had to be in high school, and I really didn't want, and I was supposed to take the money and buy the treats for the kids. And then I was like, screw that. I'm going to use it and go get, like, myself some food.
Well, aren't those treats food?
No, treats for me, like food for me. Like, so since my parents were not going to be home, I decided that this year we were doing tricks rather than treats. So I would wait for people. Now in fairness, if I saw that there were parents, I didn't do it. I just didn't answer the door. But if there weren't parents and there were just kids, I'd open the door and I had my super soaker squirt gun.
You fire on them?
I absolutely hold them down. Absolutely. I mean, they would just go.
You monster.
Yeah.
Well, I remember my brother and I when we living in Chicago on Oakdale and Damon back in the 70s, and I remember doing a haunted house in our attic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean we broke out like the old Christmas lights with these huge bulbs and everything, and we got all this scary paper and all this plastic web and stuff that went everywhere, and we dolled up the entire attic, and we made little cardboard signs, little arrows saying go upstairs and stuff, and so we invited the kids inside to our little haunted house, and my brother would come out of the room, scare the fuck out of everybody, and kids were screaming down the stairs. We had horror movies playing off of the 8mm projector onto the wall.
Well, that's scary, man. Old 8mm film.
Yeah.
With no sound sometimes can be even scarier when you watch it.
That, and of course I'm playing Disney's Halloween record in the background, from my room and everything. I had the sound system then. So, all this craziness going on, and was scaring the fire out of all the neighborhood kids.
Two of my favorite memories from Halloween was when we were little, we'd bake caramel apples in the oven.
Ooh.
We'd get the caramel and we'd put them on a wax paper and we'd melt them and we'd have our caramel apples afterward.
Oh, that sounds good.
And one of my favorite was when you're older, when you're younger, you buy the store-bought costumes for like $4 at Hornsby's or whatever.
Right.
But when it was Jedi had just come out, and I made my own costume. I was a biker scout for Halloween.
Okay.
That
cool.
And I made the helmet. I mean, the helmet was really a ticket. It had like the front, like the stormtrooper mask was kind of interestingly shaped, but I had to make it out of paper, and it took a while. But I was pretty proud of that costume as a kid. Of course, I didn't have a hovering bike to speed down the neighborhood with, but I was like a stormtrooper, so it was cool.
That's cool.
My favorite costume, ironically, was college. It was my worst costume, but it was my favorite costume. And it was my first year of college when I was up in Vermont, and I had been busy all day, and I had not gotten a chance to go create or build one, or maybe I was just lazy and I didn't care. And somebody had told me I read somewhere about a costume idea, and I'm like, screw it, I'm going to try it. So I took a giant garbage bag, and I popped it over my head. I popped it over my head and cut out some places to put my arm. And then on the front, I had a piece of paper that I stuck to it that said, "Next time use Trojans."
Oh.
I was a busted condom.
Let's see. My favorite costume. I think I've told you this story. Haven't I told you guys?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. It was the day that I became Dustina. Okay. And what it was that I was working at MCI back then. I was doing data entry. It was a night job that my brother had gotten me. Okay. And so what it was that I had a roommate that I was living with, and she figured it'd be kind of cool to doll me up. So it's like, okay, fine. So, but back then, my hair was really, really long. And, in fact, it was past my shoulders back then. And so, she did my hair up and everything. She happened to have a dress that actually fit me at the time. And so then I, went ahead and, got into the bodysuit and, the tights. And I had a pair of boots. I had a pair of slouch socks that went over the boots and stuff like that. And, she made up my face and everything like that. So then here it is. Now I needed a ride to get downtown to my job. Well, here's my father who came over to get me, and he was so dismayed at the fact that I wasn't his son anymore. I mean, we drove downtown, and all he could do was look at me with this look of, oh, I can't believe you're doing this. Okay, so fine. What happens? I get to the office several hours before my shift starts, and Sharon Kapora of corporate comes in, and she sees that I'm all dolled up. And she goes, how would you like to make $300? And I go, who do I got to kill? And she goes, all right, my fiancé is having a business meeting at Roditi's. Okay, I will throw in dinner for you, and I want you to be my mistress. And I go, what? And he goes, my fiancé doesn't know anything about you, okay? So I figure, okay, I'm going to make $300. I'm dressed as a girl, all right? So she takes me down to Roditi's. For those of you who are familiar with Greektown, Roditi is one of the better restaurants down in that district. I mean, real upscale stuff. So we drive down there. We walk in, and here's all these men, sitting at this table. So, as you know Ivan to be, I went right into character, and I started flirting with the waiters. I started kibitzing around, just letting myself just be me. And by the time the whole thing was over, I had several phone numbers. And then here Sharon Kapoor decides to go ahead and put one right on my smackaroo, right in front of her fiancé. And then we both look at him, and then she goes, oh, but you're next. And then he looks at me, and then he looks at her, and he goes, we got to talk. We got to talk right now. We got to talk. So we got everybody on edge because of the fact that now, here it is. This guy looks like he's going to have more than his share to handle because he thinks I'm in on the deal. So afterwards, we get out of the restaurant after all is said and done, Had a great meal, by the way. I mean, the T-bone steak, potato, double baked potato, veggies, I mean, wine, you name it. I had it. Oh, my gosh. I mean, my meal must have been about $60, $70 alone. So I walk outside, and we get back to the office, and I sit down, and the fiancé, whose name escapes me now, goes, okay, you didn't tell me that you had a friend. And then I went ahead and I says, oh, well, in my regular voice, I says, oh, well, I guess I should have told you in the first place. And he looked at me and he goes, you're a guy. I go, you bet your bottom dollar.
It's a man, baby.
That's it, baby. Yeah, I got a lot going on downstairs. So check it out. It was like he looked at me and he almost turned white as a sheet. And Sharon had a laugh. She was bent over in such laughter. I thought she was going to pee on herself. And the guy was just mortified at the fact that he had been in the company of me. It was the most hysterical thing. And then after he got over the whole situation, Sharon goes, here you go, honey, you earned this. And I go, well, thank you. And then I proceeded to stuff the $300 in my bra. That was a great Halloween memory.
So let me ask you a question, gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay, so you're out. So Halloween candy. What were considered prizes, and would you sit there and go, oh, I can't believe I got this?
Three Musketeers.
Let me see.
It's my favorite. Actually. Yeah. I like Whoppers, Milky Ways, yeah. Twix bars. Sometimes like the sweet tarts.
Yeah, no sweet tarts. That
not the caramel, the individual, like the Brock's individual caramels. I like those a lot as a kid.
Yeah, those are okay. Yeah.
Tootsie Rolls, they're fine. Like you put them like in your pocket for an hour or so, they get nice and soft. I like those.
I'm thinking Reese's is number one for me, without question. A Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Kit Kat's up there.
Yeah, I like Kit Kats.
Kit Kats are up.
I like Kit Kats.
Twix is good.
Yep.
What's the feeling on like the Almond Joy or the Mounds?
Nope.
Yeah.
I like Butterfinger every now and then, but not Almond Joy or Mounds. No, I don't.
I like the Mounds, and I like the Mounds. I'm not real crazy about the Almond Joys.
Okay.
But then also too, bit of honey. I still like a bit of honey every now and again.
That was so hard on your teeth. It was like trying to chew like.
If you got the fresh ones, they're okay. But if you got the ones that've been sitting on the shelf for like 6 years,
oh god, yeah. No, that's why I usually didn't like those.
Let me see. Then of course there used to be the Milky Ways. I like Milky Ways.
Yeah.
Let me see.
What about like the 100 grams? What do you think about those?
Yes.
Yes. I like the 100 grams.
Really?
Remember whatchamacallit?
Yeah, whatchamacallit was good.
Before they added, they added caramel.
Did they add caramel?
They added caramel, and then it got nasty. It was like a peanut butter rice with chocolate on it. Loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I miss those. I miss marathon bars. Do you remember marathon bars, Ivan?
I remember marathon bars.
I
Yeah.
remember marathon bars. What about baby? All right, so what's our feeling on like the Baby Ruths or the Paydays?
Baby Ruth.
Okay.
Pass on both.
Pass on both. Okay, I'll take both. I would take both. That's workable.
Yeah, I like Baby Ruth more than Payday.
What about Heath bars?
I love Heath bars.
Now I like Heath bars. I think as a kid I was not so like it was funny like Almond Joy or Mounds. Now okay, back as a kid, no way, no, yeah.
I mean now I like toffee phase every now and again.
Like there's a few things that we didn't have when I was a kid, like the fast break bars from Reese's. Those are not bad. That are now. I'm trying to think of what else. Okay. And then there are the people who used to like give you like the pennies. What was that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was a bummer.
It had to be either quarters or $1 or it was like nah.
Yeah, pennies is just like
pennies.
Apple.
Yeah, seriously.
Apple.
It's like, what am I gonna buy with this?
Apples.
Now, we never had the one who gave out apples because we were worried about someone who put a razor blade in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, we grew up in a time where we didn't have to wait for our parents to check our candy.
Well, living in the city, that was kind of a standard because we did have those type of things going on, but for the most of it, though, yeah, we got, 99% of it, unless it was like, if it was like unwrapped or it was like loosely wrapped, then that was like suspect.
Right.
So that ended up going into the garbage. But if it was tight and it looked okay, then it was okay. I mean, also, on the part about Tootsie Rolls, I like the flavored Tootsie Rolls as well as the chocolate Tootsie Rolls.
Just the regular ones for me, yeah.
No, I would say the burbs out around Chicago, later on, there was more like that. When they started having the scares more, you had to have, they were a little bit more careful. Like, for example, like if you got the popcorn ball, like later on, it was like, you can't, nobody, all the parents were like, after that point where all that kind of happened, popcorn balls, forget it. No way. You can't.
I like popcorn balls, but they had to be sealed like in cellophane.
Right. In the plastic, yeah. I mean, because I love popcorn balls. I still love popcorn balls. They're great.
If you get the right amount of, was it caramel that holds them together? Or is it like a...
It's like a glaze.
We are using a few, like Snickers. Snickers was definitely a yes.
I like peanuts. No Snickers for me.
No Snickers? Wow.
No, just either Three Musketeers or Milky Way, but not Snickers.
Okay. Oh, Henry. Oh, Henry was the definite.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. I like those.
I remember Henry's.
Those
And then, what was it? Then, of course, the, Nestle bars.
Yeah, those are all right. But
Okay, the chocolate, the milk chocolate, or the one with the rice in them?
Wait, don't they both have
Just
rice?
a regular Nestle Crunch bar. I love
Yeah,
those.
you're talking about Nestle.
Yeah, the Nestle Crunch bar.
Don't they all have rice in them?
No. They got one where it's just all chocolate, and then they have one that's called the Nestle Crunch that has the little crunchies in them.
Yeah, but I don't think they had the regular one when I was a kid. Did they for you, Mike? I don't remember the regular one when I was a kid. I remember that.
All I remember is just the Nestle Crunch bar. I love
those.
Yeah, I love the Nestle Crunch bar. I've had the regular Nestle bar where, you it would like break in sections, just like the Hershey bars.
Damn, we're done broadcasting. I gotta get to the store. I want some candy, man. We're not helping Jeff's diet.
No,
we're not.
I have Nutrisystem snacks that I'm allowed later, so I'll get a chance to pick one.
Consider Halloween a cheat day, and then November 1, just go right back to it.
No. Really? No.
We're enabling him, Mike. We're enabling him.
No. If anything. So truth time. I will admit this. There's a part of me where I'm not happy that I started this week because I am a big fan of those Reese's Pumpkins.
Oh, okay.
And on November 1st, they're half price.
Yeah, right. Everyone runs to the store the day after Halloween to get their clearance price candy.
Yeah.
There's a part of me where I'm like, screw Halloween, November 1st. That's the real. That's the real thing. At least for adults, it's like, okay, I can get all this stuff at like bargain basement prices. It's like, okay, let's go. Because they get rid of like the stuff that's like more themed. Because it's like, we gotta get the Christmas stuff already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of which, the goddamn Hallmark Channel started their Christmas movies.
Yeah, really, no joke.
That shit already?
Yup.
Bullshit.
October.
No.
It's wrong.
No.
Does the light, for people who are not in Chicago, the light, which is 93.9, do they start officially on November 1?
I think they
November 1, yeah.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Yep. The conditioning starts, folks. Speaking of conditioning, one last note about candy.
Yeah,
one last note, and that is Julie lives close to the Albanese Candy Company. And she's always, do you recognize the name Albanese?
Not off the top of my head, I do not.
Okay, all right. Let me give you an idea. Okay, think of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
But as a real deal place where they make all their own candy. It's this huge factory in Indiana. You walk in, they got a factory store. They also got a tour that you could actually go in and see how all their candy is made. And they've got every candy you can imagine. The other week, Julie showed up here with mutant gummies. In other words, they were 5-pound bags of the gummy bears that didn't make the cut. So it's just like, all these mutant, gummy bears all stuck together in different flavors.
Did you guys, I'm sorry, go ahead, Evan.
No, it's okay. And then here it is, they sell, like I said, they sell everything. Anything that's candy. You get a chance to get to Albanese company. I gotta find out from Julie where it is exactly, or I guess if you type it into Google, it'll tell you where it's located. But yeah, I think it's open 6 days a week. And
now I'm thinking about it. There was one other thing that was higher on the list than the peanut butter cup for me, which is if they handed out like the free sundae or the free
the blizzards,
like for a Frosty or for like a sundae or something like that. The coupons where sometimes they would hand those out, where it was good for like a free one.
Oh, like a free cone, like for McDonald's or something?
Yeah, like McDonald's or Dairy Queen or Baskin Robbins or something like that. Those were the, you got a few of those. It was like, the problem is your parents were like, oh no, you don't get to have this many freaking ice creams, and you're like, if I had only just gotten more of the Reese's peanut butter cup. But as long as you got a couple, it was all good.
What about ones that were definitely either getting a trade into a friend or going right in the garbage?
Licorice. Black licorice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless it was red licorice. Yeah, black licorice.
Black licorice, nah. Didn't do black licorice. What else? I don't know. Believe it or not, I am not a fan of candy corn.
This is where I was going to go. I feel like I'm like one of the few people who I know that I'm aware of that is like, oh, candy corn. Okay, cool. But like most people's reaction is like, oh, hell no.
No, I like candy corn too.
I don't know. I'm not a candy corn guy.
It's awfully sweet now. I had some earlier, but I had some in a dish by the TV, and I was watching Ant-Man and the Wasp last week, and I had my little dish by the nightstand, by the end table, and then the cat was like crawled up behind me. She started licking them, so I'm like, crap! I didn't know which one she licked, so I'd throw them all away. It's like my candy corn. I was like, there's like $2 at Walgreens or something for a tiny packet of them, so I poured it in the thing. I was like, I wanted to eat those. So I'll be back on November 1st to see if I get some clearance candy corn.
Yeah.
I got some Albanese fruit slices up on the table.
I never liked those caramely ones with the white stuff in the middle.
Yes. Yeah, I was going there too. I didn't like those either.
Those are garbage.
Oh, the squirrel nut zippers?
What else are they called?
No, isn't that the squirrel nut zippers?
They're called squirrel nut zippers.
Is that urban lingo?
No, that's what they're called. I mean, that's what we used to call them.
I don't know. Okay.
Right in the garbage.
Yeah.
Pixie Sticks, not a big Pixie Sticks guy.
What now?
Was not a big Pixie Sticks guy.
Pixie Sticks, you thought about the granulated sugar?
Yeah, I was not a big fan.
You didn't pour it into your caffeinated beverage?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's that. I mean, that's the only time I really kind of would do.
I like the Sweet Tarts, just tiny little rolls of the little cylinders, little hockey pucks. Looking things. And Pez was indifferent to Pez.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of Pez.
The Red Hot Dog, like as a kid, like the gum, I didn't like that.
Boston Baked Beans?
Yeah.
Nah, not so much.
Yeah.
How about those burnt peanuts or whatever?
Now, yes. At the time, no.
What now?
At the time, no. Now, yeah. Yeah, now I eat those. But.
Let's see. What else was there? Zeros.
Did ABC air the Great Pumpkin yet?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, last week.
That's right. It's on demand or whatever, somewhere. I'll find it on the internet.
The Great Pumpkin and the Pumpkin Patch, and you're like, oh, okay.
Linus is a religious zealot. Who knew?
Hey, after that speech you did on, on the Charlie Brown Christmas special, you kind of get the feeling of that, you know.
Shut up, Ivan. We're in October.
Yeah, really.
Come on. Let's come on now. Let's wait to eat the bird.
I'm not the one that owns the store where they got the Christmas trees out in the aisles already.
Gee, mini Christmas, really?
They already got here in Chicago. Yeah, the aisles are already loaded down with Christmas shit.
Somebody needs to put up that big meme that I have that I get usually on November 1st, where there's the turkey going, "Hey, it's my month, fat boy."
That's right. You wait your damn turn.
Yeah, that was cool.
Seriously.
I like the one where Death goes to the old lady's house, and she's like, "I'm here for your soul," and then she hands him like a candy, and he's like, "Holy shit, full-size Snickers. We're good, Margaret. I'm out of here." Because she thinks he's trick-or-treating, but he's Death. That's the joke. So, yeah, Halloween is coming, and we are happy to have you here. And, when I was a kid, I memorized, we used to have this Alfred Hitchcock album of these ghost stories, and I memorized them as a kid.
Yep.
I mean, word for word. And I even recited one on the Weef one morning.
On the old show, I remember
yeah.
that.
The Haunted and the Haunters.
That too.
The Haunted and the Haunters, or the Pirate's Curse. I remember that one.
Yeah.
And I had this old Halloween. We had this old Halloween record. I don't even know if it's around anymore. But it had like.
I haven't.
It had like. I had some parody songs of like, I've been working on the railroad as I've been working on my costume.
Yeah.
And to say, as a young kid, I didn't build my own costume until later, which was more fun. Like one time I went as the Ace of Diamonds. I took 2 pieces of poster board, I just put them on either side of me, and I took some other mask, I forget what it was, and I just cut it to make it like in the shape of a diamond. And I just put that around my face, and like, okay, then I slapped the A and the little diamond on the front, and I was the Ace of Diamonds. And one guy gave me a shit ton of treats because like, hey, I like playing cards. Here you go, kid. So. But yeah, that and the Biker Scout was good.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, Mike, you've done that right. If you had been the Ace of Spades, you could have put that one song on the entire time and just kept running it on a loop.
That was too.
Let's see. Speaking of cards and everything, cards always brings me to cigarettes. I remember when we were kids, when they were still, they were still.
Yes, the bubblegum cigarettes. I remember
eating
those. Yeah, I remember those.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy? Talking about crazy stuff. Apparently, there's a new beer that's coming out, and you're not going to believe who's releasing this.
No, I'm not. You'll have to tell us.
IPA.
Yeah, I know.
The number 6 will shock you.
Number 6 will shock me. Well,
like
this one
audio clickbait.
Apparently, Planters is creating a peanut-flavored beer.
Okay.
Yes, I saw that.
Interesting.
The brew clock's in at 6.3% alcohol by volume.
That's a little strong
and
for beer.
4-pack of 16-ounce cans will set you back $10.
Okay.
Wow.
Instead of just they're bypassing the whole peanuts thing, and you get your beer and peanuts at the bar. Here's both in one. Ha.
Let's see.
Well,
and you saw Venom had surpassed 500 million at the box office, so good for them and they're scary. Good for them and they're scary. But.
Well, just like IPA right now has got a cannabis brew from Colorado, a cannabis brew beer. It's called Naked Buck. And it's all hemp.
Well, I would hope so.
All hemp, and I think it's like 8 or 9% by volume. So that's
real fast. Apparently, here's what they mixed for this. It's a blend of honey roasted peanuts with a citrusy taste of an IPA.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still not doing it. No way.
It intrigues me. You know what? I think for next week's show, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna pop it on the air and I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna tell you what I think of it.
Okay.
I think
drink on the show. That's all there is to it.
What now?
Ivan just wants to drink on the show. That's all.
Well, I've done other incredulous things during our show, so this isn't any different.
Okay, I don't want to know. I don't think Mike wants to know either.
No.
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 Well, you take your Facebook selfies. Put a shirt on.
Yes.
Oh, come on! Yeah. I'm not exactly old. That all the way down dirty. I mean, I don't do them much anymore.
You posted it the other day.
I did.
Well, not the other day, like last week.
What? I posted my face.
But you can see your shoulders. You're obviously not wearing a shirt.
Right. They're definitely that boobage.
Please put a shirt on.
All right, fine. I will put on a shirt.
There's man boobage.
Please. What?
You put it on the wife beater tank top. if you really want to.
You better be careful. I'll go ahead and I'll put a picture up there with me posing with a couple of records over where the nipples should be, and then I'll post that.
Speaking of indecency, I only caught the Geek Greek once at TFCon. I was at the dealer room, and I was crossing the hall, and to use a Top Gun phrase, I flew right through his jet wash. And, it hit me like a wall. I was like, that's funk. It was bad.
Funk.
The cotton funk, it was bad.
See, I don't understand this. At least I understand gamer funk, because when you have places like gaming conventions like Gen Con where you have 24/7 gaming, yeah, there are people who literally will game for 4 days straight and not eat or anything like that, and will not do the things that they need to do. But at cons for Transformers or for comic books and for all that other stuff, it's like,
I mean, you got a damn room, clean up.
I mean, seriously, go back to your room and clean up.
There's a 6-2-1 rule. 6 hours sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower per day at least.
Yeah, well, that rule kind of gets thrown out. Let me rephrase that. When you're younger and you game and you go to like Gen Con or Origins, you're like one of those really big conventions where you could be gaming all day and all night. Some of that gets thrown out the window. You have to be careful about that stuff. I mean,
excuse me.
No problem. I mean, you have to be careful about that stuff at those big conventions. I mean, at least go to the freaking bathroom and get some freaking paper towels and wipe somewhere or something.
Exactly.
You know what? Go ahead. Clean up your nads, man. Get something underneath the armpits. Do a puta wash, and then go back out there and be, presentable. For goodness sake. Invest
in a freaking thing of Axe. Seriously.
Yeah, and then conversely, you can have that swing the other way, where you walk past somebody and they got some fragrance that's just like that burns just as bad as funk. But I didn't get that though.
I gotta be honest. At this point, I'll take that over funk.
I'm just put it this way. I would take the fragrance over the funk any day. I'm sorry. You know what? Some people are not. Some things are not meant to be experienced. Thank you very much.
Look, I'm a bigger guy. I'm a really much bigger guy, and sometimes I'll admit that there are times where it's like you cannot be aware of certain things, and maybe I didn't get to. And I'll tell you this now: this never happens at a comic book convention or something like this. But I will tell you right now, at a gaming convention, yeah, it's totally possible, because it's not like. Especially someplace like Gen Con now. If you're running to try to get to everything, like back in the day when it was in Milwaukee and you could get to everything, yeah, that was a possibility. I don't know how that happens in Indianapolis. I mean, I just don't know, because it's so sprawling everywhere.
It's so vast,
that you can't, unless you really program out your day. And even then, freaking bring some Axe or go to the freaking washroom, even though I shouldn't say that. I take it back. I've gone to the washroom at Gen Con. It's a fucking nightmare. I don't understand how people don't understand how to freaking flush or what the hell. It's like.
Or fucking aim.
Yeah. It's like.
Okay.
Well, here, ready? I'll give you this. I understand that people at that point who don't aim, once you're already at a point where people have already not aimed, and you're like, Jesus, I don't want to stand in that. But I gotta go. And I gotta pee. It's like that,
and the thing that's worse than that too is you get the filthy situation, but then you get the filthy situation where there's no way you can clean up because they fucking don't fill the papers fast enough.
Yeah, no, that's the worst is when it's all like that, and you gotta do number 2.
Well, you gotta be sure when you get in that stall before you drop trow that there's paper available
and that the floor is dry.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the floor being dry than paper at this point. It's like, geez. It's like,
there's just some things you should never have to, tolerate.
And
really,
it's like there's a part of me where it's like we're yelling about this, and it's the people. At the same time, I will also say this: freaking convention centers that know that they're having that amount of people and what these freaking things are. then you know what? Hire a few more people to freaking clean up the goddamn place on a more regular basis. Okay?
Right.
I mean, and I know what's said, well, we're not going to pay the overtime, there's no reason. You know what? Let me tell you something. Gen Con is their number one, like with Gen Con, that's their number one convention that they have. And I don't know about Origins over in Columbus, but I would put money, it's up there. Okay? You know what? Here's the thought. Freaking clean the bathrooms. Get some people in there and clean the bathrooms. You know it's going to be a mess. Do it more often than like when we walk in there. I mean, although I hate to say it, within an hour those things are a mess even after they clean them probably.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's just like after those type of bathrooms are just like kitty litter boxes. After you clean out the kitty litter, what you do? You lay the new kitty litter. What does the kitty do? Go right in, fucking cleans, dirties it up again. Doesn't take long.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry. If you're gonna go ahead and host a huge convention, make provisions to take care of the convention.
Well,
if you fucking reek, take care of your reek. Nobody. It's not a point of smell you later. It's not cool.
Well, like I said, I'm willing to cut some people a little bit more slack on gaming conventions because there are people who are hardcore gamers and with.
Okay, but yeah, in a case like that, sure. But
when I say that, I'm talking about the big conventions where it's 24/7 gaming, not the small conventions where.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Grab a shower, but at the same time, I'll give you an example of where I had a situation like that, and there was nothing I could do. Which is, I was at a small convention over the summer. Where they had it at this facility, and it was freaking 90 to 100 degrees outside, and the place didn't have air conditioning.
Oh.
And it's like, there's not much more I can do, okay, to clean up when it's at the point where I'm practically in a schwitz. It's like, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, no, I don't get it, especially at something like TFCon where you're at, Mike. It's like
that don't need to be.
And there were hundreds of people, but like I said, I only had one minor incident where I was in the hall and I caught it, and like, whoa. But that was.
But that's what I mean. It's like a convention like that. It's like chances are there's time in between things. Okay, even at comic book conventions, at the smaller ones, there's time in between things. You don't have to run like a madman. At big, large gaming conventions, I might get it. At some place like San Diego, as much as I hate it, if I've been stuck in line for 2 days waiting to get into some stupid Hall H panel, I might understand. Okay, I might.
I mean, if you're in the element, if you're outdoors. And it's fucking 90, 100 degrees outside. Yeah, I get that.
Well,
because you're out in the elements waiting in line and shit. That's one thing. But when you're indoors and everything, unless you're gaming 24/7 and you're just in the intents of the game, there's no reason for it.
Well, I'll ask Mike because I think I've come to a conclusion about something, which is I've heard amazing things about the San Diego Comic-Con, but I have really come to a conclusion that I don't know that unless I win the lottery or I start making a lot more money, it's like, forget it. No way. It sounds insane. What do you think, Mike? I mean, for example, if there's a Star Wars panel, just to give you perspective, Ivan, let's say there's a Star Wars panel, okay?
Okay.
And there's a whole convention. So you showed up for the convention. It is distinctly possible, depending on when the Star Wars panel is, my friend, you could be in line the rest of the time of the convention until the Star Wars panel happens.
Holy shit.
Yep. That's not me making it up. That's the truth.
No, I'm not saying no. I take you at face.
With San Diego or New York, yeah.
Well, get it, man. Fuck that. Why would I go? Why would I want to go ahead and get my drawers in a bunch just to wait for something like that for all that time? Forget it.
Well, I mean, because those are the big panels. Like if this summer there's an Avengers panel that happens, yeah, there'll be people who could be waiting 3-4 days to get into the Avengers panel.
No. I don't. I want it, but I don't want it that much.
Just like whatchamacallit's coming here.
Star Wars Celebration, yeah.
Celebration for Star Wars is coming here, and that's the big Star Wars convention. There'll be people who go to those things who are going like to the big panels. There'll be people who are waiting like a day or two to get into a panel, I think. Now, in fairness, I haven't been there, but I'm going to guess that it's kind of similar. I've heard similar stories. New York, I've not heard as many of the stories like that because New York doesn't get these big monster Hall H type panels. I don't think they have nearly those kinds of problems. That's the only thing about, as much as it annoys me that C2E2's turned into a flyover convention for some people, it's the only good thing about C2E2 is the panels. You don't have to freaking wait all day to get into a panel. You want to go to a panel, chances are you can get into the panel. You want to get in the Marvel panel, you just got to get there a couple hours in advance or something, or maybe even that hour. But even then, they box everybody in like freaking cattle. It's like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Nah. I'm sorry. I guess maybe as I've gotten older, I guess my long withstanding patience. I mean, maybe 30 years ago, I might have been more prone to want to be that adventurous for something, but not now. No. It's just like if I went to a record convention now and everything, and and you see the guys hovering over the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 records, and they're all waiting in line to check out the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 records, and I'm just like, it's okay. I'll just go over here and find those very same records if I look a little harder, and I get them for a lot less money. You guys can stand in line and do that shit.
Some people want that thrill. They like that thrill. So just like Black Friday.
Yeah,
Black Friday. My gosh, boy, there's a recent situation. I mean, since Black Friday has started, man, I think it's done more harm than good. What do you think, guys?
I think it's sad because now you got places that are opening on Thursday or being open on Thursday, which
that never used to be.
Nope.
That never used to be, and the fact that they're slowly they're slowly phasing out Halloween every other year, and then they're even phasing even more so Thanksgiving, and then of course with the recent name change of Indigenous Peoples Day from Columbus Day. Which is just like, wow, I mean, is it because more and more as we find out about history that it was nothing as what we were led to believe when we were growing up as kids, or just the fact that nobody really cares about Thanksgiving anymore?
I don't know. I think what scares me the most is, or what bothers me the most is these people wouldn't be open if there weren't people who weren't willing to be there to make it worth their while.
Right.
And I think there's something kind of sad about all that, about that there are either people who don't have families or don't seem to care about Thanksgiving as much as like the three of us probably do.
Yeah, because I mean I love Thanksgiving. It's a very special time in our house. Just like the fun of Halloween is a very special time in our house still. Christmas is sacred in our house too. And of course anybody else celebrating the holidays in and around all those holidays. And all of that, that I feel should be left to family, to be with your, or your tribe, your people that, are like your family that, don't come from your family, the people that you love and such. I think the last 20, maybe 30 years, we've really gotten away from that. It really, makes me sad because it's become, but what was it? Tom Lehrer said it best. Angels we have heard on high, drive us all to go and buy.
Well,
See, merry gentlemen, let the retails pay, or whatever the lyrics are to that. And it's and even when you think about the whole commercialization of the holidays now, and the disappearing of certain holidays that that have come into place, and then the creation of the Hallmark holidays, which you think, oh, okay, Sweetest Day. I was there for the first Sweetest Day, 1979. I'm like, are you still trying to make that a thing?
oh man, there are people that if you don't do Sweetest Day, woo-wee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sweetest Day, hey, every day is Sweetest Day with me, baby.
Yeah, good luck.
Frying pan to the face.
Boing! Yeah.
Boot to the head.
Yeah, seriously.
Like Valentine's Day, the sequel.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
You know who does a really good thing on Valentine's Day? Is Louis Black. Louis Black was talking about Valentine's Day, and he's talking about the fact, he's like, first of all, it's 6 weeks after Christmas, and it's in the worst month of the year, and I've just spent every dime I have on my significant other because I needed to spend it to say I love you, and now I have to do it again 6 weeks later, because if I don't, and I can't remember the exact way he put it, but pretty much like, I'm a dick. It's out there. You can Google it. I'm probably doing it no justice, but it's something along those lines. Like, if you're going to have this holiday, why is it in the middle of the worst month of the year? Why is it in the middle of February when it's cold and it's crappy and no one likes you? I mean, it's funny. Have I told you I have a war on February?
No.
I seriously have a war
on February?
Yeah, I have a war on February. It is the month of which, because here's the thing. December sometimes can go by and you're fine. And January can go by and sometimes you get kind of like the mild January, but you get to February, you know there's going to be days where it's like, okay, now we're going to get like a foot of snow, followed by -20, followed by a whole bunch of negative temperatures, followed by, at that point, more snow, and you're not going to see the light of day for like about a month, and you're like, oh my God, someone get me out of here.
Yeah, by then the cabin fever is in full swing.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, it's like, now I understand the people who in Sweden go nuts about that stuff. I'm just like, oh, get me out of here. So, and it's funny because there are people, when I have my little war on February, there are people who are born in February why are you going after it now? Because I hate your month. Sorry. It's not good.
February is usually the month where my New Year's diet dies.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm usually good until Super Bowl Sunday, and then it's like, oh crap, and you can't jump back on the wagon after Super Bowl Sunday sometimes.
Yes. Why is that not a holiday?
Super Bowl Sunday, it should be.
It is. It's American holiday, America.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna if we're gonna be a whole bunch of redneck nation, supposedly we all think we're gonna be, there's a part of me where I'm like, why can't we have the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday?
That is the most one day of the year that the most people will call in sick to work. Is the Monday after Super Bowl.
That good.
Yeah, either that or when Star Wars comes out. Star Wars. Yep, I'm not available today. Really? What do you have? I don't know, but I'm not available. I'll be sick.
What do you got? You got only one cannoli.
Yeah.
Speaking of available, I think the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, I'm going to go see the Fathom Event screening of the 40th anniversary of Superman.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
I guess this is the 30th anniversary, too, of Die Hard, I guess?
Yeah.
That's now?
I'm watching Die Hard on Christmas Eve this year.
There you go.
There's a million things to watch this year at Christmas. Yeah. No,
well, as far as like the holidays for me, I mean, before I do any of that, I gotta play all of the 7 Rankin Bass specials before I go anywhere.
All right, what are those 7?
nah.
Well, Santa Claus is coming to town. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Here comes. Let me see. There's like I said, there's 7 of them. Let me see. The little drummer boy. Then there's the ones that aren't Rankin Bass. There's Cricket in the Hearth. There's A Day Without Santa Claus. Let's see. Trying to think. Well,
Like, he named more than 7.
Frosty the Snowman. And
What was that question, Jeff?
He named more than 7, hasn't he?
He's named 5, I think. Let's see.
Well,
The Year Without a Santa Claus. Santa
Right.
Claus is coming. I can't believe we're even talking about this.
I
Year
know.
Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town, Burgermeister. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
right,
Frosty the Snowman.
right.
Little Drummer Boy. That's 5.
Well,
There was some other, like, more obscure ones. Like, there was Nestor,
Well-
the Donkey.
Oh, then there was the Cricket in the Hearth.
I don't remember
Chuck
that one.
Jones.
Nah,
Chuck
that,
Jones.
I
Then
don't
there's
remember that one.
Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. I love that one.
That's not Rankin Bass.
No, as you heard earlier, I said not all of them were Rankin Bass, but these were
The
some
7
other ones.
Rankin Bass that aren't Rankin Bass.
Well, I mentioned all the Rankin Bass ones. You named all 7 of them.
No, I said 5.
no, you
6. I
didn't.
said 6.
No, you named 7 of them. I counted.
Year Without a Santa Claus. Santa Claus
Right.
is coming to town. Rudolph.
Right,
Frosty. Drummer
Right.
Boy. Nestor. That's 6.
right. There's one more.
Oh, yeah, there should be one more. That would make 7.
That was Rudolph's Shiny New Year. That's 7.
Rudolph Shiny New Year, right.
See, I wouldn't even put those as... Okay.
But
We're
anyway,
doing this 'cause there's stuff that's not that should be higher on the list that's not there.
As far as holiday specials, yeah, I agree. But that's the Rankin Bass ones that I can remember off the top of my head.
I mean,
the one Rankin Bass one that they don't show, and it's a Halloween one, is the Mad Monster Party.
are we talking about shows or are we talking about music?
No.
No, we're talking about
shows.
shows.
Okay. I was confused.
The Rankin Bass, like the stop motion animation.
Yeah, the Animagic. Yeah.
Oh, those, okay. When you said ranking best, I thought we were talking about ranking, as in ranking the best. Wow.
No.
No. The company
Ranking the best.
Ranking the best. Okay. No.
Oh, okay. You know, we should really.
I got that album, by the way.
You know what? We should really do the Peanuts Thanksgiving one.
Ranking the best on KTEL Records.
We should do the Peanuts Thanksgiving with what is it? Popcorn and jelly beans
And toast.
Toast.
What else?
Popcorn, jelly beans, and toast, and maybe some pretzels, I think.
Yeah,
that was our Halloween. That was our Thanksgiving.
That was our Thanksgiving.
And Pepper and Patty be all like, "What the fuck, Chuck?"
Where's the potatoes? Where's the mashed potatoes and gravy? Where's the dressing?
Yeah.
Okay. According to Google.
So, okay, I think we're ready to move on from holiday chit-chat. We got any wacky news before we head out, Jeff?
Yeah, wait, just real fast. According to Google, Snoopy serves prepared and buttered toast, jelly beans, pretzel sticks, and popcorn.
That's right.
So apparently these are the things. But it would be amusing to do that just for once.
That would be kind of cool.
Oh, I'd be pissed. I
would be pissed too.
Well, yeah, I'd be mad, but
I'd head down to the VA or something, or I'd go to the VFW and with the sailors.
Go ahead and take a meal away from the
I'm just
vet.
Give me stuffing now.
Need mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Green bean.
Okay.
Oh, green bean casserole lady died.
Oh yeah, they're great. Do you have the article for that?
No, I don't.
It's on the Squares Facebook page. Didn't we post it on there?
I think we did. Or I put it on my personal one.
I'm a-checking.
No, Ivan, the lady
on your...
who the green bean casserole died at 92 years old this past week.
Who's that?
The creator of green bean casserole.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
92.
92.
Further proof that you can eat green bean casserole until you're 92.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. That's vegetables. Not really. But yes, it's vegetables.
Technically, it is vegetables.
I don't know. I've never been to the green bean casserole.
You've never had green bean casserole?
You never had the green bean casserole?
No.
You're kidding me with the onions things on it and all and with the mushroom soup and all that? You're kidding me, right?
No, never had green bean casserole.
How is that possible?
Well, you got to remember, I come from a Hispanic household, so yeah, green bean casserole is not something we make.
That's not green bean casserole. That's green bean casserole. This is green bean casserole. We're talking. It's not even green. I don't even think it's considered. It's not even. I mean, I joked with my nutritionist one time. Oh, I had vegetables during the holidays. She's like, "Did you have green bean casserole?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "That's not vegetable."
No, I've never had it, guys. Honest.
Oh,
no, never.
That's like a staple during the holidays, isn't it?
Yeah. Well. Okay. Because Thanksgiving in our home. Okay, we got the best of both worlds. Okay, we have a turkey and we have mashed potatoes and gravy. We have stuffing, and we have pork, and we have tostones. We have pasteles. We have rice with chickpeas. We have got because we celebrate both things in our house, but that never ever came up in our.
Wait, both things what in your house?
All that food I mentioned, that's what happens in a Puerto Rican Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, we have turkey, and we have stuffing. We have mashed potatoes and gravy. We have. We have all of corn and veggies and stuff like that, but we also have pork, we call it lechon. We call it pork, the roast pork.
Mm-hmm.
We also have pasteles, which is kind of a flat version of tamales. We have tostones, which is fried green bananas, flattened, with a little oil, and then just salted lightly, and rice and beans.
Okay.
That's our Thanksgiving. So so that's why green bean casserole never came up in the equation, because we never made it.
It's a staple at our house every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to raise your joint, Mike or Jeff, and find out what green bean casserole is. Green bean casserole.
God, I mean, I want to say that's like something where you can even get it, like at diners and stuff, like diners and stuff like that.
So if I was to go to like some place like Boston Market, I could get it.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't know.
Like, I think they do have. Hold on.
Oh, you have to check on this.
Now I gotta check.
All right, Jeff's checking on green bean casserole at Boston Market. Well, I have a little story I want to discuss about this Star Trek animated series that's coming. Now, CBS has announced these plans to produce an animated Star Trek series. It's called Lower Decks. It's penned by Mike McMahon, who's I think is the creator of Rick and Morty. So this concerns me, but the Seth MacFarlane series, The Orville, concerned me, but that turned out to be good. At least for me it did. It's not just Family Guy in space. But this animated Star Trek comedy, and they are calling it a comedy, like how many jokes can you make about red shirts? Well, I guess we're going to find out. But I don't know. It doesn't, between like Galaxy Quest and I don't know. I got a red flag going off in my head, but I'm going to try it out and see if it's any good. But we've always said that once, like, as these actors from Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine are getting older, let's just do an animated series. And eventually we're going to get that DS9 documentary, and apparently they have some Season 8 concepts that they brought about, like there's a starship that Ezri Dax will be captain of eventually, but I don't know. This new Star Trek animated comedy, I'd love to have something just legit. Like Discovery is almost there, and Orville is just like a spiritual homage. What's not Star Trek at all, but it's Star Trek pretty much in the sense that it tries to capture that feeling in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But this animated comedy, I don't know. It just seems like it's just going to poke too much fun at itself. It might be good, so I'm going to check it out.
All right.
I have skepticism about it.
Okay, well, it'll only be a fair deal if you go see it and I'll go see it, and then we come back to the table and then we review it.
I don't get this Rick and Morty thing. I don't get it.
Rick and Morty is huge.
I know. I just don't get it.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you know,
I see these Pickle Rick T-shirts, and I see a lot of that at TFCon this weekend. There's one where like Rick is dressed like Optimus Prime, and Morty is dressed like Hot Rod, and Rickety Rick and Roll. That was what I heard a couple of times at the show. I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, it's because it's become that pop culture thing, just like many cartoons with their time become that pop culture thing. And this is Rick and Morty's time.
I guess it's like the Ren and Stimpy of its time, I guess.
Exactly. You know, I mean, remember when Ren and Stimpy was out there and everybody, you know, happy, joy, you know, and all of that stuff, you know. Well, the Rick and Morty, I guess, is just riding that crest of the wave in popularity now because it is what it is. I mean, I've seen it, and it's very edgy. It's funny. It's a little. It's violent, but kind of in a gross out kind of way. But but it does have its moments. But now you're saying that this is the cat who's going to do this Lower Decks. It'll be interesting to see how he transcends that whole mentality of Rick and Morty and turned it into something that is palatable as comedy for those who know Star Trek.
We'll see.
So that'll be an interesting thing to check out, you know, on that behalf. So anyway.
I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me where it's like, okay, you're trying to diversify the types of offerings that you're creating. I don't know. I heard, you know, it'll be interesting now that Les Moonves is no longer. Is it Les Moonves? Yeah, he's the one who was in charge of CBS. Now that he's no longer in charge, I think things will get interesting because Les Moonves doesn't know Star Trek from Star Wars, or didn't. And there are some well-known stories documenting that case and that fact. So maybe things will get better. Yes, Boston Market has the green bean casserole. I would imagine that it's not nearly as good as something cooked by homemade, but yes, they have it.
Well, I'll go ahead and I'll sample it. I do like Boston Market, though.
Get those crunchy onions on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'm down with that. I'll have to take the missus out for some green bean casserole sometime in the future.
I have a feeling Boston Market may not do it nearly as justice as much as homemade.
Come on over to my house for Thanksgiving.
Okay. I mean, I hope you got a plate big enough for me. I do have a hefty appetite.
Just don't wait for Zesby to drive you out.
No, I don't plan on that. I'll take it upon myself there.
Right,
so it's okay.
Let's see. What do we got for? Okay, well, apparently, according to the USA Today, the Hubble telescope apparently was not working, and apparently the way that they fixed it is someone flipped on and off switch.
Yeah, that's what everyone does. Everyone tries that.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Apparently it worked. Glad to see all technology works the same. There's that.
He called the IT and he's like, "Did you try turning it on and off?"
No. Yeah. This story was so good. Apparently, I posted it twice. I don't know why. Some people want to stay at Disney World forever, so families are spreading ashes, some of the people's ashes, all over the park.
What?
Oh, why are you not shocked by this? That people want to have like some sort of like something in their wills about getting buried.
I want to remain in the happiest place on earth. Please spread my ashes over Cinderella's castle.
Now, it makes sense to me because people have their fondest memories of family and fun together at Disney World, and so they want to remember them from that way. Just so, but it's a biohazard. It's actual human matter. That's just wrong.
So
not to mention the fact that it kind of I don't know. It just seems a little moribund, don't you think?
No more though. No much more so than just dumping your loved one's ashes into the ocean.
Yeah, but see, this isn't a place that's going to be visited by millions and millions and millions and millions of people.
Yeah, but people try to do it at Wrigley Field.
Huh?
People try to do this at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of that or not. I think at one point they were allowing people, if you paid money, you could do it at Wrigley Field. I could be wrong about that.
I have a friend who had a grandparent who was a huge Cubs fan. And this grandparent did not live to see the Cubs win the World Series 2 years ago. And so the next day after the Cubs win, they went to the headstone, and left Cubs memorabilia and flowers and all that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who did that.
Yeah. But you're right. Yeah, there are places that all I can think of is just that one scene in The Big Lebowski where they got Donnie in the Folgers can.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it blows in his face.
And it blows it back in, and you can't even fucking do that right.
Yeah. So apparently it has its own special code, HEPA, H-E-P-A cleanup. The special cipher, which refers to the use of a ultra-fine vacuum cleaner, is used at least once a month, custodians told the Wall Street Journal, which leads to visions of Grandma and Grandpa spending eternity inside a Hoover. Like, guest reporter, we sneak the family members' ashes in plastic bags or pill bottles hidden inside purses or bags or backpacks. Once inside, the visitor spreads them throughout the landscape of the park, flower beds, water rides, including Pirates of the Caribbean, and It's a Small World. As for the Haunted Mansion, it appears to be the most popular place for people to leave their loved ones.
That's the craziest.
What's that?
Like, you got ghosts and shit in there, and you want, like, you got Grandma Ghost now in the Haunted Mansion?
According to one custodian told the Wall Street Journal, the Haunted Mansion probably has so much human ashes, it's not even funny.
Wow.
When it happened, employees reportedly called guests to ride his temporary closed to technical difficulties.
Nope. Cleaning up dead people.
Yep. You know what? Maybe I get it. You know, here's why I would get it, which is it would be a place where it's really dark, so maybe they would never find it.
True. They wouldn't. You think they're not going to get caught on camera dumping this container?
Have you met Americans lately?
The problem is that everyone's on camera now, so you're gonna get caught doing something.
I'm sure the people who are running those cameras are having a field day and probably even taking bets, thinking, okay, let's see how many bodies, how much, how many ashes are gonna get dumped in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride today. Let's see how many people are gonna do this shit.
But apparently there was somebody. Wow, why would you even admit this? There was some guy from Missouri woman from Missouri named Shannon Hembrook told Wall Street Journal she laid her father to rest near the Disney gates earlier in the year to memorialize their trips in the summer. He wasn't my tired grave shift dad at Disney World. He was, let's go get you mouse ears, let's get your name stitched in it. And it's like, I love this dad. Can we stay here forever? Apparently it is unlawful and prohibited. A guest being caught will be taken off the property.
Because you're on private property, so.
Well, yeah, it's on private property doing a heinous act,
It's crazy though, because like my dad wanted to be cremated. So it's like, okay, he wanted to be put in he wanted certain things. It was like the amount of laws that there are about this and then these people make these decisions and it's just like, it's crazy. But yeah, it does not shock me.
If people wanted to do that bad enough and everything, maybe, just a suggestion to the people at Disney, hey, if you want to have a mausoleum.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I would say if you want to have a mausoleum on one part of the property where if you want them to stay at the happiest place on earth and they're cremated and everything, you want to have to keep the urn there and then pay for whatever rental or whatever it is that they do, for that particular, that would be okay.
Another way for the mouse to get money.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, all right, call it what you will, but
cash grab.
Or
in this case, an ash grab.
Ash grab, right? But then it also has its situation. I mean, can you imagine? Oh well, my dad loves Stitch and everything like that. You could have a Stitch, put in front of your door and, your name and, when you're born, when you die and everything. They keep you in there. They keep you in an urn that looks like, that has a picture of Stitch on it, or some shit like that. I don't know. It's a hell of a lot. It's a hell of a lot more sane than having people dump stuff into the freaking, rides and shit.
Why can't you make it a ride of its own? You could make it, and you could build a ride around it, and people could be buried in it, and it'd be like the crypt or something like that. And you could do that.
Who would be the crypt keeper?
I don't know. I don't think they have rights to that. I could be wrong about that one. But seriously, you could build a whole ride around it if you really wanted to. I mean,
put your ashes here, kids.
Yeah. Come see your grandfather.
Oh, that's right. Oh, no.
I got a big mistake.
Your family's dead. Drop them here.
Well, I'm going to hell.
We'll skip to the next one. This one was amusing. Apparently, I love this one. Apparently, there's a dog that scams McDonald's customers out by getting burgers by pretending to be a stray.
Oh, I've read that story. Yeah.
A woman in Oklahoma City has resorted to dog shaming after she caught her pet sneaking out at night to beg for hamburgers at a nearby McDonald's. Apparently, I haven't watched it. There's an excellent latest post of Becky Reed and her dog Princess. If I see my dog at McDonald's on shifts, quit feeding his her fat ass because she doesn't know how to act.
I remember that.
Walking to McDonald's and then she's not even a stray. She's just a gold digging ass bitch. Like her burgers. And this is I'm not watching this, but there's a picture of the dog. Cute dog. Apparently, she caught the dog in the act once she drove to McDonald's and photographed and filmed her taking food from drive-thru customers. The dog approached Ray's car. Wait, this is the best. The dog approached Ray's car, but when she saw her owner was behind the wheel, she moved to another car in search of food. Oh my God. Now that's a smart dog. You know what? Screw you, I'm going out for McDonald's and I don't have any money. I'll just beg for it. People will give me the food. That's great.
Wow.
That's hysterical.
That is cool. That is cool, though. That is one smart dog, man.
Seriously, that dog is a genius.
Okay.
She has the wrong idea on this. With a dog like that, you could train it to go to McDonald's, get you the food,
and bring it back to you,
and you wouldn't have had to pay for the burger.
Thank you.
Did you eat a burger that was in a dog's mouth?
Well, as long as it's in a bag.
Carrying the bag, I mean.
A bag.
You don't hand a dog a bag of food. They usually just unwrap the burger and just let the dog grab it from their mouth.
Then it doesn't work.
Yeah, then it's got to have dog fang and drool and hole in the burger. Yeah, then no, that doesn't work.
No,
you can't eat
that.
That
would not be practical. No.
Yeah, you know what? I just think it's hysterical that the dog saw a car for the owner and basically went to another car.
Yeah. It's like, the jig is up.
No, don't even go running home. Just go to the next car and see if we can get more food. Oh God,
that is one smart motherfucker.
Oh no, that is one smart dog. Okay, so I brought this one on. It's not necessarily funny, but I think it should be. I don't know if people if you guys have seen this. Apparently someone has decided to rebuild the Titanic.
Yeah.
They've decided to create the Titanic 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to build an entirely new replica Titanic. And the maiden voyage is to take place. It will take passengers from Dubai to New York, with the first cruise being 2022.
Hi, how would you like to have history repeat itself? Join us on the Titanic 2.
Yeah, seriously, this please, no way.
Did they learn the first time about this shit?
Put James Cameron and Leo DiCaprio on the boat and send it on its way, and
you know what?
I'd be fine with that.
Celine Dion has to live on the boat forever and sing that song all the time.
Oh my God! Having that song run on a loop, I would lose my marbles.
That needs to be on a loop the entire time. Celine Dion, I am the greatest singer in the world. That whole thing. Apparently, there are 835 cabins to accommodate 2,435 passengers. You'll be able to buy first, second, and third class tickets. Just like the original. You mean when it sunk?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is there's something about this that I am just... No, this is a bad idea.
Flabbergasted at the fact that, okay, sure, let's go ahead and take a chance at killing ourselves again.
Here's the best. To avoid a repeat disaster, the Titanic 2 will be outfitted with plenty of lifeboats that will have a welded, not riveted hull, plus modern navigation and radar equipment. You know, it sounds familiar. it sounds exactly like they told them in 1912 when the boat went down in the first place.
State of the art.
Yeah,
Unsinkable.
I mean, didn't they tell you that boat was unsinkable in 1912?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. So they're going to have the thing where you can stand in the front of the boat where everybody can take the picture, and then they play the music, and then you take, like, the little video so you can put it on Facebook.
Oh, shit.
That's what you... Or do they have, like, a band that stays on the deck that plays while you're going, like, you're on the deck?
Wait a minute. I bet you there's a part of the boat where the floor actually tilts while the band is playing. So that way you get the sensation of the boat actually sinking without sinking.
You know what'd be great? They should do a reenactment within the boat where at some point the boat floods with water on purpose, and then you go into the small little lifeboats and escape, and it's like these really fancy little lifeboats, but it's like, you don't do it like all the way like in the middle of the journey. You do it like near the end of the journey. Like let's say you're like currently this is Divide in New York, right? So you do it like, I don't know, like maybe like about where like the Statue of Liberty would be. Okay? And like all of a sudden the boat starts to like flood. And obviously you can put the boat back the way it is. But just kind of one of those things where it's like, to have the experience, right? Because at the end of the day, the boat's supposed to sink, right? So,
right.
Shouldn't that be part of it? Where like everybody's got to get in the lifeboats and all that stuff. And you have the band on the Lido deck like playing and all this stuff. I don't know.
I'm thinking that that flooding situation should be relegated to the third class cabins if they paid extra for it.
Yeah.
Hi, how would you like to be in the cabins that get flooded first? Okay, here's the offer for the third class cabins.
Well, Mike seems to be pretty quiet about this stuff.
I have a robot that transforms into the Titanic.
Do you really?
Yeah, he does. I've seen it.
Yes, it will sink.
Will sink.
It doesn't float for long.
I'll try to keep these brief because we're running long on time tonight. Okay, but we've had some good conversations. I don't know if you guys this one. There's a man who apparently is so peeved off at Comcast. He's like, no, I don't want your internet and I don't want people in my yard. So apparently, here's the thing: this man in Colorado who's doing this apparently refuses access to Comcast for his backyard. And as a result, the entire neighborhood cannot have Comcast.
Wow.
Internet. And wait, it gets better. He's kind of holding it for ransom. At first, he wanted an apology because they pissed him off. Now he wants money.
Oh.
Cash. Well, I should probably read this whole thing. Lafayette resident Andrew O'Connor is refusing to allow Comcast access to his backyard to install the fiber optic cables unless he gets paid. Comcast workers were unprofessional, shocking, when the company first approached him several months ago to install the upgrade. Since then, Comcast has told O'Connor's neighbors he's the reason they aren't seeing faster speeds. He wants an apology, and now he wants cold hard cash. According to O'Connor, Comcast was given exclusive rights by city officials to install fiber optic cables in Lafayette, Colorado. He does not want the company on his private property, and he's blocking the workers on principle. It's about a big corporation bullying people, trying to run over people. In a statement, so the long and short of it is, imagine you were in this neighborhood and you couldn't get high-speed internet, and it was because of this guy.
I'm sure he's gonna get some tricks this week.
Yeah, this I get it, but I'm like, imagine it's like, we're sorry, you can't have internet because this guy is holding us up. It's like, there's certain people in the neighborhood like, just pay the man his money. Just give me my freaking high-speed internet. There are people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good for that. I'm almost. This one might take us way long tonight. Apparently, this is from comicbook.com. Apparently, you can now become a certified Godzilla expert.
Okay.
You two are like, okay.
There goes Tokyo.
It says here the only thing that will stand between you and the title of Godzilla expert is a couple of tests from Toho Studios. According to new reports, the company behind Godzilla is ready to welcome the beast's biggest fans to Japan. It's holding the first ever annual Godzilla certification exams.
Okay.
To celebrate the monster's 60th anniversary, Toho will proctor the exams in Tokyo and Osaka this March. The two tests will be given diving. I probably said something wrong here. By their level of knowledge, beginner exam will be offered. Dividing fans by their level of knowledge. The beginner exam will be offered along with an intermediate exam, so fans can take either one or both. It would cost us $45 for the easy exam, and the intermediate's about $53. You can take both tests for $85. As for what the test will cover, it will vary. When it comes to beginner's exam, it will draw multiple choice questions from actual Godzilla exams official text, which Harishi published a while back. Questions will also be sourced from the 1954 Gojira film, as well as the Shin Godzilla. You know what I noticed haven't been referenced here yet? The one with Matthew Broderick.
No.
Interim exam, it is all the above, but you will need to know way more knowledge. All 29 Godzilla films produced in Japan will be used in this examination, and test takers have to get at least a 70 to pass. Beginners will have to get a 65. There's no word on what the certification fans will get, but they will definitely have acquired bragging rights. If they pass the test, Toho Studios will have a limited edition goodies up for a sale at the exam centers, so you won't want to miss stuff of that.
I'd love to get put on a Godzilla suit and destroy a miniature city. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So what do you? Okay, so all right, you go, you pass the test. What do you get?
You get a card that says you're certified Godzilla expert.
What? You actually get a notarized thing you can put on your wall.
Then you go out and you get laid because you're a Godzilla certified expert. Congratulations.
I got Godzilla right here in my pants.
Oh no! There goes Tokyo. Go Godzilla!
Yes, that's how it goes, Ivan.
What about Godzuki? Could you have a Godzuki? I bet Godzuki's not on the test.
Oh, I remember. I forgot about Godzuki.
Godzuki's probably not on the test. I bet the guy who plays the French guy in the really bad Matthew Broderick movie.
Godzuki. Oh my gosh, I remember bad Hanna-Barbera animation. Godzuki.
That wasn't that horrible. That was good stuff. Was it the same time as Mr. T, or is it a different time?
Probably about the same time as Mr. T's cartoon, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Rubik's Cube cartoon, that was pretty bad too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was
a lot of bad 80s cartoons.
Yeah, like the Snorts.
Well, that was obviously the.
Yeah, that was
obviously the. Exactly. The same creator though, Peyo.
Yeah.
Snorts.
Yeah, well, hey, probably somebody walked up to that guy and said, "Hey, can you create like Smurfs in the water?"
Done. 5 minutes later, done.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. What are we gonna?
One last piece. Apparently, couples in India are selling tourist admission to their weddings. Because Indian weddings are so popular now. 2 Australian travel bloggers paid $200 for a 2-day invitation to attend an Indian wedding for a startup company called Join My Wedding, wedding tourism is an up-and-coming trend in the tourism industry, according to one expert. Apparently, you can go to India and
see the wedding of two total strangers.
Yeah, and apparently be part of an Indian wedding.
Okay.
Just remember, whatever happens at an Indian wedding stays at an Indian wedding.
Do they do all the really cool Bollywood dances at the Indian weddings?
Assuming they do, but I'm assuming that's why you would want to go, because there's all that kind of stuff.
Can you dump your ashes at the Indian wedding?
Now that's a question I have no answer for.
Will there be a stray dog outside the Indian wedding begging for food?
No, because hamburgers have cow, and they won't have those.
Okay.
Well, they have a showing of Slumdog Millionaire at 2 o'clock after the wedding.
Wow. That's wrong. Followed by Gandhi, right?
Will there be a screening of Titanic at the Indian wedding?
You know what? You do for Titanic to get to the Indian wedding.
That's right.
In the third class, quarters where the water fills up.
Right, and the dog brings you your food.
And their heart will go on.
Yeah. I do have one more.
Speaking of Indian, before we go, and we're running long tonight, one last thing. What is this up about taking Apu out of The Simpsons?
Oh, we're going to be a lot longer now.
No, we just want to get our quick thoughts on it.
There's no quick thoughts on this.
Well, there are several what you'd call racial stereotypes on The Simpsons.
There's a multitude. There's multitudes on.
Why is this one an exception? Why is this one a standout?
Because some guy made a documentary saying that Indian people found it offensive. And the only thing I can say is I find some of the things that they've done with that character over the years, for him to be like the least offensive and one of the most beloved and lovable characters and honest and forthright characters that they have on the whole show. I
agree with you, Jeff.
I agree
with you.
But there's a very vocal group of individuals and led by, and I can't remember the name of the guy. I've not seen the documentary about the trouble called The Trouble with Apu. I will admit I have not seen it. I've heard people sit there and say, yeah, they have a point. I understand that, but I mean, here's the thing. Fine, you don't want. Fine, then have Hank Azaria not voice it anymore. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of stupid.
It is.
I mean, okay, because then if you take Apu out of the mix, then you're going to have to take out the custodian from the school.
Groundskeeper Willie.
What?
Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie. Then you're going to have to take him out. Then you're going to have to take out the guy who drives the bus.
Why?
Because
he's not a racial stereotype.
No, but they got him portray bus drivers as irresponsible guys with their heads in their headphones and
that's not a racial stereotype either.
No,
it's a different whole issue altogether.
Well, but still, I mean, they're going to start with the racial stereotype and later on.
I can see where he's going with it because there'll be some white trash that probably go along with that one.
Exactly what I'm saying. So basically, once we get away from that situation, then we're going to find something else wrong with it, and then we're going to try to get rid of it. And then what else are we going to shelf? I mean, it's enough now that with animation.
Ivan, here's my question: what about Bumblebee Man?
Huh?
What about Bumblebee Man?
The Spanish-speaking Bumblebee guy.
Yeah. Who I believe is supposed to be Puerto Rican, is he not? I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know if either I presume he was just, I don't know.
All I know is, okay, it's animation, folks. It's a cartoon, all right? And, this is why, when we show this is what we grew up with, probably some very violent cartoons, but at least we weren't moronic enough to sit there and think that all the stuff that they're doing in the cartoon, should be something we should try. We don't have the disclaimer of, oh, don't try this at home. Come on, folks.
Wait, I'll give you even better here. According to this, apparently there was an episode in which Bumblebee Man was once shown speaking in an articulate British accent and also translated in English in what Krusty said in his campaign speech inadvertently offended the Hispanic community. However, Bumblebee only speaks in simple, over-enunciated, and often inaccurate Spanish sentences. His catchphrase is, so I guess at one point he was... Okay. I don't know. I know it doesn't tell me a real nationality. I don't know if it's supposed to be...
All I'm saying is, okay, then how about the Spanish housekeeper in Family Guy?
Consuelo.
No, I stay. But yet nobody's fussing on her.
It's funny, you know. Here's an interesting one.
I mean, this is gonna be a thing up for debate, and why? Because how far is the whole political correctness thing gonna go? Okay, look, I understand we don't want to offend nobody. I understand we don't want to make anybody uncomfortable or unhappy and all this other stuff. I get it, but at the same time, you're going after a cartoon. Now, if it's a television show,
it is a television show.
It's
the longest running animated television show in U.S. history.
I'm saying the real people, Mike. I'm talking about a television show with real people and stuff like that. Okay, you want to chop that up, all right, whatever. But this is a cartoon. It's entertainment. It's meant to be funny. It's meant to poke fun at certain things. Yeah. It's meant to be something where you're going to take it with a grain of salt because it's a fucking tune.
But the character Apu in question has been shown in a respectful manner. Unlike certain episodes from other shows, like from the 60s, there's one episode of the Flintstones where Wilma takes judo lessons, and the instructor is a very offensive Asian stereotype.
He's got
That's no good.
But then
that is offensive.
See, that is offensive. Yes, today that is offensive. Even back then, that was considered, well, it's because it's a cartoon. See, again, you can't take the premise of old animation and bring it up to date to today's standard without feeling that, just like the Frito Bandito. We talked about the Frito Bandito because he's a Frito Bandito. We don't want to sit there and crack wise on Mexicans because they're all thieves and they all eat Fritos. And and then Speedy Gonzalez, and his very stone friend, Slowpoke, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name. What is Slowpoke? I can't remember his last name.
Slowpoke Rodriguez. Okay, so
Slowpoke Rodriguez, it could be.
What?
It could be Slowpoke Rodriguez.
But my point being is that Apu has been shown. I mean, obviously, with all these years and all these seasons, he's been displayed as he's a cool dude. He's chill. He's not just playing the stereotype. He's an actual character with strengths and weaknesses like everyone else.
Exactly. He's a character.
It's funny. I saw a post today about if they're firing at Pooh, what's he gonna do about his 8 kids? That was kind of clever, but I mean, like for example, I'll give you one I was thinking about. There's a rumor, there's supposedly talk that there's a new Coming to America movie that they're gonna make, that Eddie Murphy's gonna make. Should I be offended if Eddie Murphy decides once again to be white Jewish guys? Right. Old white Jewish guys? Should I be offended? Should I be offended that Eddie Murphy looks like an old white Jewish guy and got made up to look like one?
Right. Should I be offended?
Because in theory, I should be, right? I mean...
Well, you should be because you're Jewish, and here's a guy who wants to become a white Jewish guy. You should be.
And he's stereotyping old white Jewish guys.
Right.
I mean, I mean,
and then of course, I could go a whole dialogue about how Hispanics are treated in motion pictures and television over the last 100 years. I could do that.
Well, but I mean, so the argument on the other side, just to have it, is right. So now we're trying to change that. Okay, I just think that we're all in agreement. This is the wrong character to pull this on. This is not a character where you could sit there and go, yeah, this character definitely should get pulled. Like, there are other characters that we can think of from cartoons and things where it's like, yeah, that probably should get pulled. Like Slowpoke Rodriguez. Yeah, that's probably.
Well, that's already been done, though.
Right.
I mean, they don't show the Speedy Gonzalez cartoons much anymore.
Right, or Charlie Chan, because Charlie Chan was played by a white guy. So
right, exactly. I mean, all that stuff's been rectified, and I get it on that behalf. But if you got a character that states the obvious, because let's face it, all right, a lot of Indian people they invest in a lot of businesses, and a lot of those businesses transcend the things in the community that you're familiar with. Okay, he's in a 7-Eleven, correct?
Well, yeah,
similar
to it, yeah.
Okay, so it states an obvious thing where, you go to these places, and yes, they're run by a lot of Indian operators, and every Indian operator I've ever run into has been really cool and really chill, and has been really very friendly. So why is this such an issue? Why is this such a sore spot? I don't see it. Do you?
I see it. I just think that, again, you're picking the wrong guy. I mean, it'd be different if the character stayed where he was at the beginning of the show, where he was just a stereotype. But they've gone so far beyond that with that character.
Yeah, but he evolved.
Right, exactly. That's the problem. The problem is that it'd be one thing if he stayed the same the whole way. The character's
right.
And so as a result, you're talking about something entirely different. You're talking about, yes, this is where the character started. Yes, maybe, and in fairness, I don't know how old the guy is who and maybe I can look it up, the guy who's done the documentary. Maybe as a kid, yeah, that was the case, but
so in light of that, Jeff and Mike, in all due respect to people represented in whatever media form you're represented in, think just for a moment what you're looking at and what you're putting your mind to, and and people will agree, people will disagree. Not everybody's going to feel the same, but again, it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon that's been on over 20 years. It's next to Scooby-Doo. It's the next longest running cartoon. Okay.
I don't think Scooby-Doo's been consecutive. It has always been on, Ivan.
Right.
Well, but it's been in production. It's been shown somewhere. It's been syndicated, and it stayed within the viewing of people.
Oh, I forgot. I wanted to watch the Treehouse of Horrors this year.
Yeah, 666.
Yeah, episode 666. Yeah. So yeah, we agree that Apu has been given enough depth and just has done a lot more than just portraying himself as that stereotype.
So the guy who is kind of spearheaded this, and I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to do it. But you can look him up on Wikipedia. The guy who's the writer of this piece and did this documentary piece is 36 currently. So to me, if you're 36, so he was born in 82.
He's not seeing it in the perspective that everybody else is seeing it.
The only thing, here's the thing. This is the other thing that unfortunately we see. The problem becomes you, me, and Mike, and many others will have the argument that we have. But unfortunately, that there are some people out there who literally see Apu as exactly what this guy is talking about. And that's the problem. And as much as we think that that's not the case and that there aren't that many people out there like that, there are. There are. And that's part of the problem too, is that. So geez, okay, we're running way long.
We're engaged in a solid conversation here.
American comedy is just slowly. Well, it's changing. Comedy, the face of comedy is changing.
It's hard. It's hard. We had that conversation a while back about where the one person did the op-ed piece about Animal House and it being at its anniversary year and people going, am I still allowed to laugh at this? And it's like, are you kidding me?
Right, and just going.
Right. You brought up an important point. Do you know that right now, the American Pie series is now under fire?
Yeah, that doesn't shock me either.
No.
I saw a clip of that on Facebook just before I came on the air tonight, and already now they're going after that series of films for its misogynistic overtones.
Well, and this is where things are going to get. I mean, honestly, with some of the things that we talk about, when we start getting more audience, yeah, I'm not going to be shocked that we're going to have some people sometimes that are going to come after us for what we say and how we say it and what we say. But I mean, slowly but surely this has been happening. That's why in some ways terrestrial radio just blows chunks these days. It's because you can't have. It's because you can't have the Howard Sterns of the world anymore. But yet, for some strange reason, well, I'm not going to stop because that I don't want to get political.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is okay. You have a platform now that we're under fire. No matter what it is we're going to say, and we're under fire for everything we're going to do, as broadcasters, as internet radio people, as people who all of us have been there, all of us have been on the air, all of us have spoken our minds over these last 20 plus years. And a lot has happened in 20 plus years. And you got those that will say, well, what we say is not something we should be saying. And then you'll have those that will say, well, it's okay what they're saying. They're just stating their opinions. They're just stating their minds. They're just stating their, what they feel are their points. We could agree or we could agree to disagree. But this is America after all, and isn't that what one of the rights of being an American are all about? The freedom of speech? And hasn't that come under fire for much too long? We've gotten to the point where where I could give my opinion, and of the 10 people in the room, 9 people are going to get offended just by my mere opinion? Have we gotten so touchy that what I may find funny, you're not going to find funny because of the way I found it funny? So I'm going to be scrutinized for that?
Yes, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to say.
Yes, it is. Well, the problem is that at the end, it's the problem that's always been there, which is there's a line between funny and, no, I don't think so. You went too far. And
but every person has, everybody's line is different though. I mean, how do you know when you're going too far? How do you know that you're not doing that thing? How am I supposed to know that? I would have to read minds to do something like that. If I were a comedian, I'd starve. Because then I'll say this comedy bit and I'm sorry, half the people in the room are going to go ahead and look at me with disdain while the other people are going to start laughing nervously because they're afraid of the other half of the room looking at me with disdain. I mean, that's a terrible place to be, folks. That's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, it is. There's truth. There are words. There are wisdom to your words.
So, so there's that's the thing, and Jerry Seinfeld even said that the state of comedy has gotten to the point where one day a comedian will have no one to perform to.
Yeah, I think this Apu thing is a sign of the times in the way of just comedy and media in general. We're unable to laugh at each other. We're all too busy getting offended by things to just stop and just take a look around and say, "Yeah, that is kind of funny." But
I mean, what happened to a place where we laughed with each other? Now that people are getting upset because we're laughing at each other.
But it's okay to poke fun and just say, it's okay. You can still say, I don't hate you because you're like that. I just find it funny because, I'm Irish. Well, some of us have red hair. And some of us like to go out and drink on St. Patrick's Day. Okay,
I'm a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
They call me a spick, all right? How many handles are there? How many people are there at a Puerto Rican funeral? 2. Why? Because there's only 2 handles on a garbage can. Come on, folks. All right? If I can sit here and make fun of my own people, because I find it funny, if I find it funny, and if you think it's funny, you can laugh with it because I meant it to be that. I'm only poking fun at it. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to offend you purposely. I'm not trying to, I'm sorry if you get ass hurt, because I said something that you yourself might think I'm saying out of turn, when I, in fact, was just trying to be funny, or I just thought what I said was cute. I mean, I think I've said I'm sorry more times in the last 5 years than I think I've ever said in my entire lifetime for things I say and do now. It's a sorry state of affairs. It really is, folks. We need to put our energy into looking out for one another. We need to put our energy into the relevant thing, which is our humanity today. Okay? Not the tearing down or the replacing or the omitting or the muting or the mooted situations that have become what we've come to know now? Really? Have we gotten to that? I mean, here you got 3 guys, We're talking. We're letting it all hang out. We let fly. We all have our opinions. We all agree. We all disagree. But we're still talking to one another, and we still love each other. There's nothing wrong with that. And we need more of that. And we need more of this in the world, folks.
Yeah, all you need is love, and love is all you need. Mike, tell us where they can find us.
Thank you.
We are on Facebook. That is where we are most active. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at SOTRT Podcast. You can find us on PodBean if you're not listening on there. We are also on YouTube. We have an email. If you'd like to contact us that way, we're fine with that too. SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com.
We want to hear from you, folks. We really want to hear what you think.
Yeah. Do you think Apu should be pulled from The Simpsons? If not, why? If so, why?
Yes. And we want to know how you feel about us as a collective. I want to know. I'm sure Mike would like to know. I know Jeff would like to know, but I would like to know.
Awesome.
And how do you think? What do you think of our show? Questions and criticisms.
Absolutely.
And praises.
Well, that's this week's show. I'm Jeff Stein. With me is the one and only. What do you guys?
Rivera, and we got the one and only.
Who?
Hello.
What? Huh?
You.
Me? Oh.
You.
I don't do this well.
Hey! So long, everybody.